Okay, we should be live. Welcome to another Scratchcast. And this is going to start out, I guess, a little bit differently than what we usually do. Usually I have somebody on right away and talk about social justice stuff and whatever, and that's all well and good, but it's getting kind of old. And I mean, later in the stream, I'll probably have some people on and we'll start bitching about that. But really, I just kind of wanted to talk about some real stuff. And I know a lot of people might not want to listen to that, but hey, my channel, I'm going to do what I want. So I want to start off kind of talking about depression and just mental health stuff, because I don't really have much of an outlet for that. I don't put a lot of my personal life online. I don't really talk about my personal life on my channel. I'm not really going to start now. I'm going to allude to things and kind of mention that I've been dealing and struggling with a lot of depression lately, and it's definitely affected the output of my channel. I've kind of been slowing down and putting out videos, and that's not something that I want to do. But when you're in that state, you can't just will yourself through it and say everything's all right and just keep going. Sometimes it doesn't work like that. A lot of people, they don't seem to understand that. And I'm the type of person that, I want to keep going and do what I enjoy doing, because I want to keep doing the things that make me happy. But when you feel just so down and you're not really sure where to go or what to do or how you're even going to, continue, it's not easy. And it's not easy to talk about because not a lot of people care to listen, or they think you're exaggerating. But for me, personally, I can't speak for other people, but for me, it's a very real thing and a very real problem, and it's caused me a lot of problems throughout my life, and a lot of sadness and a lot of loneliness. And I was at a point where I felt like I beat all that, and then some things happened, and I guess I kind of feel like I'm right back where I started, and I'm really trying my best, not to let it get to me, but it's just not that easy. I realize I said that already, but I mean, that's the truth. That's the best way I can explain it. It's just not simple. It's like your mind is constantly focusing on the things that you really don't want to focus on and you really don't want to think about. But you try your hardest to keep going. I have a very hard time, finding humor in things and being funny and putting on my usual Scratch Point persona in response to all these stupid things that I find online when I'm just feeling down in the dumps. I do have a couple of ideas for, videos, but I'm not sure when I'm going to get to it right now. So at the very least, I'm going to do some streams with some friends, and hopefully that will get the creative juices going, and I'll be able to get back to work and keep doing what I love to do. Because YouTube is definitely something that I've been taking seriously, even though the topics that I cover are stupid as all hell and not very serious. This is something that I really like doing, and it helps me in my life in general, and it gives me a purpose. It gives me something to do, and that probably might sound silly to a lot of people, but that's how I feel about it, and that's why I want to continue working on it. So that's what I'm going to try to do. But obviously, if you watch my channel, you know that I make fun of a lot of things, poke fun at a lot of stupid things, and the whole social justice mindset. But the one thing that I will say is that it's important to learn the difference between, people getting overly offended with their triggers and all that nonsense and their Twitter induced PTSD, and separate that from the people that are actually suffering with real issues, because not everybody that is claiming to have a hard time is one of these social justice nuggets that just can't seem to get on with real life. There are people out there that struggle with real mental health issues and have a lot of problems in daily life. And to be honest, I'm probably one of them. I admit my mental health status has been very detrimental to the road my life has taken in general. And I think it's, I never had any handouts for that or any of these safe spaces or any nonsense like that. People, when I was a kid, people kind of just expected you to get over it. They thought you were being overly sensitive or just, faking or not really, just not coping well enough. And that's the real problem here, is that people that deal with these issues, they're usually ill-equipped to properly cope, and they need proper help to do so. So it's important not to, as funny as it is sometimes, to poke fun at all this stupid stuff. And I love doing it. I mean, you guys know that if you watch my channel. I think it's also important to be careful what you do and say to people, because you could come across a person that, maybe what you've said or done to them isn't that big of a deal, but everything going on in their lives that you don't know about on top of that, it might just be enough to push them over the edge. And I've recently had a situation where, not only am I dealing heavily with difficult personal issues, but then I also had a situation where I got dumped on pretty hard, and it didn't help my mental state. It actually pushed me back and, made things a lot worse. Been having a lot of problems with anxiety. The best way that I can describe it is I just feel absolutely sick. My whole body feels sick. Your legs feel like rubber. Your hands and your arms shake, and it's not really something that you can control. As much as I'd love to stop feeling that way, it just, no matter how I try to will myself, everything's going to be okay. It doesn't happen. But that's kind of what I wanted to touch upon, and that's where I'm at, and hopefully what I can work through before too long here, because I feel like I'm not a bad person. I feel like I deserve better, and that I want better for myself, and I need to try to surround myself with people that feel the same way about me. And that's not always easy to do. It's great to have a support network, though. So if you have people that, good friends, good people that care about you, consider yourself lucky. I have to say, even though I felt very lonely lately, the few people that I have reached out to, some that I've actually met through YouTube, have been very kind to me, very supportive, and I can't thank them enough for that, because even though they may not be here to spend time with me and hang out with me, they've had a positive impact. Thanks. And really just thanks to everybody that watches my videos, because you, even if you don't comment a lot, or even if you don't watch every video, or even if you don't like every video, just the fact that there are people out there that do enjoy my content is enough to give me a feeling of, I don't want to say importance, because I know I'm just a drop in the bucket compared to other channels, but it gives me something in my own life that makes me feel like I'm doing something that I enjoy, that other people are appreciating, and that means a lot to me. I'm going to see if we can get some other people in here, and maybe we can turn the mood of this discussion around. So if you've listened this much, then I appreciate that. If you're just getting into it, hopefully we are going somewhere else with the discussion, somewhere more interesting. I gotta see. Just trying to send out some invites and see who's going to make it. Okay. I could send it to quite a few people here, but I don't know which ones are able to come. I really don't like the Google Plus system. Like, why doesn't it let me? I feel like it should let me look at an individual list of the people that I have on my contacts. Let me see who I can get here. Sorry for the silence here. I'm trying to get some more names. Let me go to my Google Plus account and see who I'm following. See who I can invite. I don't want to just send out a giant invite because some of the people on my list I have not actually spoken to before. So let's see if anybody's around. Okay. Probably going to end up changing the name of this stream thing too, since we passed the real portion of it here. Don't know who else is going to be able to make it. I was actually supposed to be doing a video game topical stream soon, but I don't think the guys I was going to do it with are around. Okay. Man, it is really quiet tonight on YouTube, apparently. I guess nobody's really interested in this kind of a stream. Okay. Let me see one more thing. I'm trying to send an invite out to one friend here, and they don't seem to want to acknowledge the existence of his Google Plus account. Okay. Let's try this now. Yeah, they just don't let me send invites to him, I guess. I don't understand. I'll just send one out. And we'll see who pops in. Maybe nobody. but it would be nice if somebody stopped by because, well, I guess dead air is not going to be fun for too long. And I kind of lost track of where my ramble was going. But if nobody shows up and can't get anybody else in here to talk with, then I'll probably end up doing some video game streaming on Twitch or something. Okay, what's going on? Oh, I got a notification on YouTube, but I thought it was going to be from somebody who was ready to join in. I guess I could talk to you a little bit about some other stuff. So let's see. What can we discuss? Video games, I guess, are always a good topic. I've been playing a recently released Final Fantasy IV hack, and I have to say it's actually pretty good. It's called Unprecedented Crisis, and it basically changes the whole course of Final Fantasy IV. In the very beginning, you recognize it, but then very quickly the plot goes off on a separate path. And for the most part, I like what they did with it. I do have a couple of complaints. I guess the complaint number one would be that they have made Rosa into a basically, in my opinion, a basically useless character. They made her an archer rather than a white mage. She does still have some white magic, but it's not nearly as useful or as good as it used to be. She basically has like slow and haste and stuff like that, which is all well and good, but it's a real bitch trying to get through without healing magic, and you don't get a white mage until if you've played Final Fantasy IV, until you get the twins, Palom and Porum, and then she's an actual white mage and has dedicated healing magic. But also there's some weird choices about what levels you learn certain spells. Like I remember learning Exit at level 35 or 36, and that just seems way too late for such a basic spell. And then it's not quite a difficulty hack. I don't want to call it that, because it is a lot easier than other hacks that I've tried to check out. But as you go along, the difficulty definitely progresses to a point where you definitely have to stop and start leveling up, or else you're going to get your ass kicked. I came across a couple of bosses, and I got destroyed pretty quickly. So there is a bit of grinding involved. There will be less if you're the type of person that goes through dungeon and kind of fights every encounter that you come across organically. But if you spend a lot of time trying to rush through dungeons and running away from fights because the random encounters kind of annoy you, you will definitely have to stop and spend a good portion of the game grinding. But it's really interesting so far. I like what they've done with it for the most part. The one thing that's kind of interesting is Cecil stays as a Dark Knight for a lot longer. I've just actually finally reached a point where they hint that it's almost time for him to climb the mountain and become a paladin. But first I have to find a damn floater stone to raise up the airship or something. And I believe what they're talking about is the whale. Okay. Yeah. All right. So, yeah, but I really enjoy. Sorry, I was looking to see if anybody was going to come in, or if I was getting any notifications of that. I was looking to see if. About the game. Now I lost my train of thought. Sorry about that. I'm a little out of it lately. Hopefully you can forgive me. Geez. Final Fantasy IV. What was I thinking about it? Well, I'll just talk about some other points until I remember. I like hacks. Well, actually, I think I got it. I tend to like go for hacks that are more than just changes in difficulty. I like hacks that do new things with the game, new things with the plot, add new characters, not in like the you know like this feels like a fan fiction kind of way, but where maybe they'll make it into a totally unrecognizable game, um, except obviously in aesthetics and the game engine itself. But I like when they add new characters, new plot points, new bosses, abilities, weapons, and this hack does pretty well at that. It kind of goes for like they added an ice cave, and it was very reminiscent of the Final Fantasy One ice cave. So that was kind of a nod to the earlier games. They gave names to the dark crystals, which was kind of interesting. And that was that's pretty much what I've discovered about it so far. I don't know how far through the game I am. I'm actually about, let's see, I think I'm actually like 12, 13 hours in, and it still seems like there's quite a bit left to do. So they actually kind of went all out and did a really good job. I hope that, creative people keep working on these old school games and keep making them more interesting. Just going to add video games to the title here because we're now discussing video games aside from the real talk issues, which are in this description too. Okay. Well, it's very quiet tonight. Not exactly sure why that is. Sunday evening, maybe people have other stuff to do. Unlike me. Okay. The other, I'm probably gonna keep streaming that hack on Twitch. But I ended up playing some of it through with a friend, so I got a little further than when I last ended my last stream. Okay, well, I got my buddy trying to get in, but apparently he can't. I don't know what is going on with these damn links. I really hate Google Plus in the Hangouts. For some reason, it's given me a lot of shit. I found that. I thought that was the invite link. Sorry, trying to send him a message here on Skype. Should have just done the. I should have started streaming with OBS, but it's fucking. It doesn't make sense to use when you're just gonna sit here and talk for a while. I'd rather use OBS when you're doing an actual what do you want to call it? Video game stream. That's what I like using OBS for, video games. But for podcast streams, I preferred the Google Hangouts just because, when you're speaking, your icon shows up on the screen, and then when your friend or whoever's in the stream with you speaks, they pop up, so you can kind of tell who's doing what. It used to work before, and now I can't seem to pull him in here no matter what I do. I even gave him the direct link. Let's see. Google. Yeah, let's see what I can find out about this. Oh, choose. They're not blocked. Yeah. Very aggravating. I'm so tired of Google Plus and all that. I kind of wish it was just. I long for the days when it was just a lot less aggravating. And it's always every time I stream, there's some kind of technical issue, and it's rather obnoxious. Well, I mean, I guess I can just. I really don't want to do this again, but I guess I could just do a new live event and use OBS. Oh, looks like. Oh wait, I think it worked. Hopefully that was enough. Oh, he says he can't hear anything. Okay, so he's in, but apparently something is wrong. He's mute. Now unmute. Turn up the volume. I adjusted the audio levels. I'm not sure. I heard you for a second there. Hello?
Yeah, I hear it now.
Oh, okay. That was too much of a struggle. I guess next time I'm just gonna load up OBS, but I didn't know if anybody else was going to be available to join in. So usually, if I do it through Google, it just makes it easier for other people to jump in.
All right.
What game is that? I hear.
That is Mega Man X7. It's not really as much of a game as it is an insanity test.
Is that the one that they made 3D, or is that something else that I'm thinking of?
X7 and X8 were both 3D.
Oh, okay.
X7 is the 3D one that's not good.
What is bad about that exactly?
Mostly the controls, and there's a character I don't like, but mostly the controls.
How do you screw up a Mega Man game?
Well, they wanted to really go full on out on the 3D. Like in X8, they toned it down, and some levels will be like 2.5D, and then others, the ones that are 3D, which are annoying for the record, will still like they're not bad like this. This is like we just learned how to use 3D type controls. I mean, and the terrible voice acting, but that's implied with the X series.
8 was good though.
Isn't there always like terrible voice acting whenever they do Mega Man games that have voices.
Yeah, so I mean, I'm not even giving them a strike on that one.
What
Like
what got you into playing X7 again? Because it's weird because I just saw a review released on YouTube for X7.
I am actually not watching, or I'm not playing it. I am watching.
Oh, okay. Because it was
Last time.
Go ahead. Sorry.
Last time I even attempted to. The last time I even attempted to play was 11 years ago, when I was living on dorms, and for once the lobby actually did something constructive, and somebody was actually beating the game, and then I was like, yeah, I'm not gonna play this game anymore.
Yeah, I think it was a Pro Jared review that just came out.
Pro Jared's probably not a good name. It might be a disrespectful name, so we should be careful of how we use that name.
It's always disrespectful somehow.
Yeah, there's just no getting around that one.
I've apparently joined you in being disrespectful, so it's all right.
Yeah, although your situation's a little bit more serious than mine. Mine I can just ignore because he doesn't live here, so it's like, if you feel that way, okay, I'm still gonna go to sleep. There's nothing I can do to help you on that one. If that's how you feel, that's how you feel.
I guess that's the attitude I need to adopt.
This guy's a fruit basket.
I thought I was the only one that used that. Although it's probably considered homophobic now.
Yeah, it is. But I mean, even his name is stupid. Tornado Tunyon, and he's shaped like an onion. Man.
Oh wow, they were not trying at all there.
It's like the people at Capcom had to go to lunch in the next 5 minutes, and they're like, all right, let's come up with all their names.
Who's having salad? Oh, there's onions in there? Okay, let's go with that.
But we need an element here. Well, if somebody has bad breath, you can catch a wind of it. So tornado.
That's the new level of Capcom creativity, I guess.
And his attack involves him dancing like a ballerina or something.
What did they do to Ken in Street Fighter V?
I don't know what they did to Ken. I don't know. Maybe they took the Caitlyn Jenner approach.
He really does look terrible. I don't understand what they were trying to do there.
I don't know. Maybe they're going to try to make some kind of politically correct change to his backstory.
Is he going to be gender fluid?
Yeah, so then Ken's wife will also be LGBT friendly, and he and Guile will be at odds because Guile is is more traditional, and therefore does not agree with Ken's lifestyle choices.
He's going to beat him up and tell him to go home and be a real family man.
Emphasis on man.
Yes. None of this men can have vaginas stuff.
Forget about poison.
I still don't know what the real story is on that. There's like so many conflicting
arguments.
Yeah, it's like, oh well, she was made trans for the U.S. because they thought that was better than beating up a woman, and then it's like, no, she was originally that way from the Japanese developers' notes.
Yeah, I don't buy that. The fact that they're like, oh, she's whatever you want her to be, lets me know that it was originally a her, and they're just like, oh, you can't beat up women in video games, so We're gonna change this.
Well, that reminds me of when the Game Boy Advance version of Final Fantasy VI came out, and you get to the part with Celis, and she's in the jail cell, and they cut out the part where the soldier is beating on her.
Oh yeah, because yeah,
What the rumor was something to do with a kidnapping in Japan, but I heard that was actually false.
it didn't. Um, I don't remember what it was, but it was something like that. But I just don't. I don't remember the specifics anymore.
Either way, it seemed kind of silly given that it was a I don't know 20-year-old game or something by that point, or 15-year-old game.
I think it had something to do with subways or something. Not the
Not the sandwich place, even though
yeah,
apparently Subway Jared is involved in some kind of child porn thing.
yeah, the FBI raided his house. Him and I think the president of that foundation.
Pretty disturbing.
Yeah, I don't know what people's interest is in that, but
I mean, I don't even know if he's actually guilty of anything. I just heard about that and didn't read anything into it.
well, I mean, usually the FBI doesn't just go and raid somebody's house
Unless there's some kind of credibility.
Yeah, I mean, otherwise they'll kind of they'll play the sidelines until they can really go to court over that. So, I mean, I guess it's still innocent until proven guilty, but unfortunately, I have too much knowledge of this type of situation, and that guy got like 800 years or something.
I like how that's a valid sentence. I mean, how do you even serve that?
I don't know. The judge just really didn't like him, and so I guess you can't get a life sentence for that. So you're just like, you're gonna go to jail, and you're never gonna get out. But instead of just saying you have a life sentence, we're gonna give you. Yeah, I think that's what it is. I think each count has a maximum penalty, and so instead of saying, well, you can serve them concurrently, they say, well, you have to serve them consecutively, and so it adds up to almost 900 years.
Oh, I see. It just so happens that you end up dying in the process.
Yeah, or really, you just end up falling and not getting back up. I prefer that term. I think that's more family friendly. Or next dimension.
Next dimension. Oh, that's good. You end up in the HFIL.
Yes, the home for infinite losers. What's up with this music? Can you even do like? Can you even play music on this stupid Hangouts thing?
I know you can screen share, so I mean, I guess if you play a video that contains music, that'll probably do the trick.
I guess we'll see. No, I don't want to do that. What is it with tech companies and using the word awesome all the time?
I guess it's like social justice and problematic.
I guess so. It's like all I want to do is just make sure that it doesn't have my name on the Hangout. Because I can't actually go in and change my name, so it actually has my real name. So I just didn't want that on there. But
oh, I see. Yeah, I see.
But instead, it's like, oh, go add your friends and be awesome. Like, get out of here.
Well, it actually said. I mean, at least it only says first name, but I mean that is pretty stupid either way.
Like, who do you think I am, sir?
I um I played a bunch more of that Final Fantasy IV hack.
Is he in a perpetual Dark Knight phase, or does he?
No, he'll. I'm almost to the point, I believe, where you finally become a paladin because I actually finally made it to Acidia,
Mm-hmm.
and they want you. The next quest is to find a floater stone so that you can raise the airship that's beneath the ocean, which I'm guessing is the whale. And then after that, I believe you're supposed to go to Mount Ordeal.
Oh yeah, I forgot that this is just Final Fantasy FF4 edition. Since that seems everything, they had that annoying ice cave and
Yeah. After the ice cave, though, it actually got a tiny bit more original. They they greatly extended the Tower of Babel. The Land of Summoned Monsters cave was just a way to you get to Leviathan and they try to give you the crystal, and then I think you might have seen that you get attacked by a boss. That boss pretty much destroyed me, and then I learned you learn harm, and it pretty much
okay.
kills those zombies, and then I was able to beat that fight. And then you go to the Bahamut Lagoon, which is the Sylph Cave, pretty much.
Yeah,
And
I
you
remember
fight,
that part.
yeah, and then you fight a false prophet of Bahamut, and it's basically a holy version of Rubicant or Rubicante or however you say his name.
Pace Bacanti, if anybody even has that there. I didn't check and see if they have that. They used to make a big deal when I moved here. The commercials were because back then the brand was based here and not Dallas, and so they were like, well, they got the ripest fixins straight from the Rio Grande, and it's made right here in San Antone, and like
Yeah,
this
I
other
remember
sauce is
that. What did they say? New York
like
City or
nobody.
something?
Yeah, it's like there's nobody actually has salsa made in New York City. Like that's not a place that's not a place that has a lot of food brands. Like everything's really owned by like one or two companies, which is like Procter and Gamble, which is Cincinnati, and Frito Lay, which is Plano, which is a suburb of Dallas. So there's no brand based in like if there's a New York based food brand, it's one of those really obscure ones that only people from New York probably know about.
Yeah, I mean, I don't even know any, to be honest.
That I mean,
Probably,
it's like A and P, it's like A and Path and Pathmark. Nobody has heard of that over here.
oh, yeah. I mean, I didn't even hear of it until I lived down there. It's not something you hear about upstate, so.
I don't. Yeah, I don't. There's not one in Poughkeepsie. There's a Price chopper in Poughkeepsie. Well, there's one now, but
Yeah,
uh,
there's a price chopper in Oneonta, too.
and then there's well, they have a BJ's in Wappingers Falls now, which is something. I mean, when when I lived there, Route 9, which is the main road that goes through all of those towns, it was a 2 lane road, and now it's like a 6 or 8 lane road, depending on where you're at. So that whole area of upstate is totally transformed. It's full of people that are fleeing the city to go to a quiet area, which doesn't make it any quieter, but that's not my problem anymore.
What am I reading? Uh, there's this post that's basically saying that gay men are not actually gay. It says gay men are not actually gay in the sense that they are attracted to men. They choose to be with men because they view men as better than women and women as lesser, and thus don't see women as worthy of their time. Is this like a MGTOW post?
It's either MGTOW or R9K. Because that's actually like the last post somebody posted from that board, and he said my last hope is to become gay, and the whole reason that they would ever want to is just because they're at such a low point where they hate all women, and the only thing they're ever interested in are waifus, which I don't even understand that, or ponies, the My Little Ponies.
Oh wow, they're attracted to the ponies.
Yeah, there's the MLP board on 4chan. They're actually attracted to the ponies.
Okay, I guess that's why that community gets a bad name.
Well, I mean, some of the people who just watch the show just to watch it are okay, but as you know, whenever 4chan is involved with anything, it goes downhill no matter what it is in reality. But I'm still sure that there are plenty of people who in the real world are like, oh man, that sure was a great looking pony. Like one person was all like, I can't even be attracted to female breasts anymore, or human female breasts anymore. I just don't see what people like in it or something like that.
I think. Let me send him an invite. I just got a message. We might have another contributor.
Yeah, so then we don't have to talk about pony eroticism.
Well, he actually might have something to say on that, considering I believe he is a fan of the show.
Yeah, I actually would be curious to hear his opinion on that, because I thought there was one guy, or there was something I saw that made me think of him, and I was like, I'm sure he doesn't feel this way, but I'd be curious to see his thoughts on it. Because I think one of them was like, that's the only time I'll ever like a woman or something like that.
Oh no. How does that even compare? I mean, I get that reality sucks sometimes, but come on, that's not even close.
I don't know. I mean, I don't assume that they've ever really had any exposure to an actual woman, so them making that comparison is not really appropriate because they don't even know. But much like the people in R9K, because if somebody ever says anything that implies that they have been with somebody, they all do this stupid thing where they type like "get out of my board" or something like that. It's supposed to mimic some kind of frog noise that they make when they're not pleased with something or something, and so they do that because the frog is an important part of that board. Because I guess there was some old meme attached. You remember that stupid saying people said when they said "feels good, man"?
Yeah, the Pepe or whatever.
Yeah, like that's an important part of that board.
And I've noticed there's some joke about rare Pepes, and they kind of just like Photoshop that meme into everything.
Yeah, because man, if something is mildly humorous, it's a good idea to plaster it everywhere to make sure we get maximum hilarity.
Seems to be never ending. That's the one thing that kind of bugs me about. Well, one of many things that bug me about the internet. They take a joke and they drive it into the ground to the point where you just want to punch something whenever you see it.
And then you have people who are like, well, it's the internet. What do you expect them to do? Well, I expect them to act like normal human beings and not idiots.
That would make sense, but I guess that's too much to ask for.
I'm perfectly okay with excusing 20 and 30 something year old men for acting like children. That's the right kind of behavior to have. And then it gets worse when they want to include it in stuff. Like I guess it was in E3. I don't know if you know who Aisha Tyler is. It really doesn't. I didn't even know she was a thing. I just knew her as that girl from CSI, but apparently she's a thing um, in the gaming community because she's really into video games. And so she was like telling them to make a meme or something out of it, and I guess they couldn't answer it because, well, if you've seen her, you can assume why people will be like, oh, I don't know what to say around this girl who plays video games because she's not
No,
one of
I've
those fat.
I've
Yeah,
never heard of her, but I just looked her up now. Okay, I get it.
yeah. So naturally they wouldn't be like, oh, she's not just one of the guys because one of the guys are usually fat and ugly or they don't smell as good or something or whatever people do.
The smelly fat gamer stereotype,
Yeah,
the one that's
the
still okay
fat
to make.
the fat gay fat virgin, the fat gay fat lonely married virgin stereotype. Since that's one of my favorite YouTube comments.
I don't even know how that makes sense.
Well, somebody commented on some old video of Ace Alieri's, and he said, Asa, you are fat and gay and fat, and I hope you die in a fire like the fat, lonely virgin you are. Even though he had, at that point, plenty of videos of him in his house with his wife and 2 kids.
Wow. So I just saw a BuzzFeed. Well, I can't call it an article because BuzzFeed just makes pointless lists. But it says 19 faces everyone who has had sex with a penis will recognize.
I didn't realize you had sex with a penis. I thought you had sex with people.
Yeah,
But I guess it's Brave New World and all that. But I thought you should be proud of BuzzFeed because it's made in New York. There actually
that
was I don't know if you've noticed, but there actually was a thing. If you went to certain tech sites at a certain period of time, at the bottom of a lot of those sites, if they were made in New York, they would have like a made in NYC or something like that. And it would just be a link to New York City tourism, basically. But they did the same thing for a while too, and I was like, why are people doing this? At first, I thought like, oh, maybe I should do this, and I was like, no, wait, who cares where I made this? Like all that is a hand job. Nobody cares where my stupid content aggregation website was made in, especially since like a lot of BuzzFeed servers and all that aren't even in New York, and their content contributors certainly aren't all from the city. So nobody
uh,
nobody cares.
who's reading this stuff though? It seems to be like the most intellectually devoid lists of anything ever.
Well, I just assumed 12-year-olds read BuzzFeed and they thought it was intellectually stimulating, which I guess when you're 12, I mean, what else do you talk about when you're 12?
I thought I don't know. I remember discussing like video games and Dragon Ball Z.
Well, that's what I remember, but I remember I had classmates who, this is puberty age, so all they talked about was talking about whoever masturbated. That's what they would talk about. Which I don't know why that's anything that anybody needs to discuss in the lunchroom at the table when you're eating hot Cheetos, but that's what they thought was something worth discussing. And it didn't change until I was 14 when instead of talking about that, they decided to talk about menstrual cycles. So then they would go and they would talk to different women, and they would ask what the process of having blood come out of their vaginas on a regular basis, what that's like. And they apparently would be really enthralled, like they would be really enthused by that.
But talking about periods,
Yeah,
that's an interesting thing to hear, because you always hear all the feminists complaining, why can't we talk about our periods without some man getting grossed out? And it's like, all right, I don't.
Well, the funny thing is, when the following year, when we did have the third wave feminists show up in droves, they did say stuff like that. And then they went back to the 12-year-old conversations, and they're like, oh, man, look at how edgy and iconoclastic we are. We're talking about women masturbating in class, because they were reading that cunt book. And so they're like, oh, look at all the people that were involved in the conversation, girls that we would have never thought did it. And I was like, yeah, I don't even remember what game I was playing. I wasn't playing good games back then. I was playing like DWO and stuff like that. So I was like, you know what? I think I'm just going to go home and I'm going to get on Beyond, because there weren't any good games then. My friend was like, well, Final Fantasy X came out. Yeah,
that doesn't help, right?
But what were you going to say?
DWO, I was thinking about Beyond. What other Beyond games? I remember playing a couple of Final Fantasy ones where it had sprites ripped from Final Fantasy 2, well, 4.
They had those, and they had a lot of Dragon Ball Z ones.
Yeah, I remember you'd just like train for hours on the punching bags, and then some Super Saiyan comes along and kills you in one punch.
Yeah, there was one that somebody made that made it less time consuming and more interesting to do, but he took his down. I don't know why. But at that one, you could choose like whatever you want to be. So there was an actual value if you wanted to be like a Namek or a human or something. It wasn't just like, oh, well, you can be a Super Saiyan and get Super Saiyan 4. Like, you could even choose to be a half-breed, which then that gave you mystic powers. And so you didn't necessarily just have to be... Not everybody chose the same thing, basically.
Yeah, that's kind of what I like about Xenoverse. Although, because they give you options to be stuff other than Saiyans, but I almost wish there were a couple of more races.
They also had some other game. It was like a tank game that was pretty fun, but then I think they started charging people for it, and I was like, I'm not going to play this crap if you're going to charge me for it. It's fun, but it's not that fun.
I was reading on Steam the reviews for that other Silk Wizard game, that Nostalgia, and they were people were mainly complaining about favoritism when it came to mods and stuff. And I was like, well, that's no surprise. It's because it's probably the same damn people 20 years ago.
That they're still doing Beyond games?
Well, it's not a Beyond game. They actually released it for Steam. Nostalgia. I don't know if you actually looked in.
He's still making games. He wasn't really a programmer. Like Beyond, now that I think about it again, it wasn't... Beyond's not really a programming language that people that spend countless hours studying for computer science and math tests have to learn to make like real video games.
Right.
Like, it's a glorified scripting language with weird syntax.
I mean, I guess he actually learned to program then. I don't know how well it's done, but...
Well, now they have all these tools. If you're an indie developer, they have all of these tools that can help you, that make it much easier. So if you know a high level language, which most people do for various reasons, then it's a lot easier for them to just go and uh, make a game just finding one of those tools. Because if somebody's like, oh, well, I know Python, well, then they can go find a toolkit that lets them uh, program a game in Python, or if they know C Sharp or something like that, then they can do it. I can't remember what the C Sharp one is called, but I know it's real popular because everybody's always like, well, that's just the one that I use so that I can make sure that my games are. I can make my games quickly without having to use C++, which that makes sense if you want to kind of rush through, or if you don't want to spend like countless hours on it. But if you want if you want more control over what you do, those aren't as good of an option. But what do I know? I'm not a programmer.
No, you don't have the necessary experience required to speak on such things, obviously.
Right. I have no experience on those things. But if I had enough passion and enough work ethic, I could do really well. Even though there's not an available position that would fit in what I want to do, and even though I said that there isn't one, all it takes is more passion or something like that, which that doesn't mean anything.
It's not what I meant to do. Yeah, so there's I don't know if you saw that. Well, I don't know if you've been on Twitter recently, but I know it's something to avoid. But there's a list of holidays throughout, and it's all a bunch of those pointless ones, like Creative Ice Cream Flavors Day, and International Joke Day, and I Forgot Day.
And the purpose of these are supposed to be what exactly?
I don't know. I really have no idea. Teddy Bear Picnic Day. I guess that one's kind of self-explanatory. National Nude Day.
National Nude Day. Well, talking about things I can get next to.
Although this could turn out to be quite problematic.
It's funny how many times I've heard that at my new job, and I'm just too tempted to turn that into something about Tumblr, but I don't. I'm like, yeah, a lot of people here know what Tumblr is, but they don't know what Tumblr is.
They haven't gone into the depths.
Probably not, except for those people that say they're really into social justice, but
passionate about social justice.
Yeah, but even then, I don't think they really know. Like, I think when they say social justice, they mean something different than the Tumblr. Like, I think they're still fighting for the same causes,
but they're not the extreme version.
Yeah, like they would be offended by the same thing, but that probably has more to do with just naivete. If they lived in the real world for a while, they would have their beliefs probably questioned, or they would have their beliefs they would be challenged, and so they would have to actually think about it, and they probably would say, well, I still am in favor of this initiative, but I'm not I'm not hypersensitive about everything. Or maybe they really do care, but I'm at the point where I'm just so jaded where everything social justice, anybody that says it, I just cringe instead, because I don't feel that there's I don't feel there's any more value in even attempting to do that. I don't see the value in it from my perspective, and that's saying something because I don't because there's still obvious things that I think should be resolved, but I don't. I'd rather have them stay as is and not have people try to then force changes that aren't what they don't make things better. I'd rather just have them stay the same if that means that people just have to be more cognizant of what they're doing.
Not to break in this important conversation, but hi.
Oh, hey. You finally made it.
Finally. Thanks, Google, as always.
I knew it was going to be a problem because
We
had some issues getting it to work earlier too.
Yeah, you missed our riveting discussion about My Little Pony. And
damn, you need an insider's opinion too. Well, yes, that's what I get for being late. Oh, I knew we shouldn't have slept in.
We can actually go back on that.
I don't think you really have an insider's opinion of this side of MLP.
Oh God, you're talking about the dark side. No, stay away from the cupcakes. I thought I warned everyone about that.
Yeah, we're talking about the 4chan MLP board. We're talking about that level of
Personally, I don't even want to imagine what they do. That's 4chan. I don't imagine what they do with anything, much less MLP.
The cloppers and all of that.
I don't even know what that word means.
Yeah, you probably don't want to know what clopper means. You probably don't want to know their definition of plot. You don't want to know things. There are just things you probably don't want to know. Yikes.
See, I don't know that. I didn't know they had a different definition of plot. The only reason I
didn't know until months after Star Wars. So I'm like, wait, they changed the meaning of plot to what?
The only reason I know what clopping is because of this old in internet terms. That show with that guy called Ghost that I told you about. He had True Capitalist Radio.
I remember that.
And all the people that would go and troll his site, most of the time they would try to troll him and making him think that everybody that listens to his show is a brony. So he would always get mad and he'd say, "Oh, you're probably all just clopping to this or whatever," whenever they were playing a song or something like that. And I've discovered through context what it means. I was like, well, that's probably something they made up for the show. They probably don't really use that in the fandom. And then I saw it on the board, and then I said, oh, I had to second guess myself.
For the record, no, that word is not used on the show. Thank you very much.
Oh, and I know it's not, but I know that the fans do it.
Nor is plot by the other definition these bronies come up with, and I still don't know why they did that. Yeah.
That, and then I guess somebody was mad because they said Tara Strong was a Jew, so that ruined their entire fantasy.
Oh,
okay,
jeez.
what? Why? Who cares? Huh? This is news to me.
Well, I think 4chan is pretty
granted,
popular for being
4chan
anti-Semitic.
Well, yeah, it is 4chan. They're special, so I guess there's that.
In fact, they're probably going to raid us if they hear us talking about it.
Oh no, my channel ruined.
Yeah, their R9K board isn't any better. If you just replace Jews with blacks, that's more or less how they feel on that board. Like their big fear or their belief is that every woman is attracted to black men, or black men steal them. They steal all the white women, of course, and their only real line of reasoning is that they will be cuckolded by a black man. That's their belief.
Oh no! Back to that again.
Yeah.
I seriously had no idea what that meant until like a couple of months ago.
Well, I guess you need to read more Geoffrey Chaucer. Because they don't even use cuckold. They just say cuck, which...
Yeah, that was really annoying. It sounds like a noise a chicken would make, and I'm just like, stop.
Well, I can't remember. There's some game where they did that. Well, it said cock instead of cuck, but same thing.
Of course. Hmm.
It wasn't intentional, I don't think. Unless it was a Working Designs game, then of course it was intentional. But if it was just some...
called humor, right?
Well, Working Designs had an interesting definition of humor.
Lunar with your random pop culture references.
I understand humor's subjective, but sometimes I just want to say, come on.
Well, for the longest time, I wouldn't play a Working Designs game just because I knew about their unique approaches to translation first, and so I always rolled my eyes at that. And then I think the first game I played that I realized was Working Designs was Arc the Lad, but the Arc the Lad translation was really toned down compared to anything else they've done.
Oh, so they didn't add in a lot of random jokes that didn't really fit the world?
Yeah, I mean, there are one or two I can think of. Like, there's the waiting for Godot joke, and the sucking dick joke in the instruction manual.
That one sounds interesting.
But other than that, I can't think of anything. Because everything else I remember just seems like it's just kind of normal translation. Like the one that I sent you a while back on Facebook years ago, where it was something like, sorry to bust up your makeout session, but we got
that's
trouble.
right. That was Arc the Lad?
Yep.
Oh, because it reminded me of that other quote that you sent me from, I think it was Grandia?
Or Lundra.
Oh man, I forgot about Arc the Lad.
Hey.
Can't say that around me.
Well, I mean, I haven't played that. I played that game so long ago. Feels like it was so long ago, at least.
Well, I think somebody took one of my copies that I'll probably never get back. And so I just have one copy left now. So I need to replace my second copy.
You have a play copy and a storage copy, like comic books. You have the comic book you read, and then the comic book you just keep on the shelf.
No, I just have multiple copies because you can never have enough quality in your house.
Yeah, quality over quantity. I thought we were all raised on that.
Although last time I remember the copy I had, it was being disrespectful, so
It had to go.
Had to slap it up.
I think I did get that one back, ironically, but I let my brother have the other one. But
Are those all collector's versions? Because didn't Working Designs just release everything in like a collector's package?
yeah, that's half the reason they went out of business, in my opinion. So yeah,
Because they released everything?
Well, yeah, because the games would come out and they'd be like $70 to $100 or something like that. I remember wanting Lunar when it came out, and I was like, "Oh, not getting that for Christmas."
$70 for something that looks like it should be on the Super Nintendo. I don't think so.
Well, back then it was about that price, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was. That's how much I paid for it a couple years ago when I bought it, I think in 2011.
Because it's weird how games like maintain that like $50 to $60, even with like inflation and all that stuff.
I actually got really lucky and got my copies of Lunar 1 and 2 off of eBay for like $35, and they were complete. So I won't complain.
Yeah, I don't have any of my old games anymore, mainly because when I moved to California to live with my dad, they all stay with my mom, and pretty sure she probably gave them to like my little cousins or something.
Oh no.
Well, I'm not too upset about it, you know.
Okay. Well, I guess that's good. I'm the kind of person that would probably go and like go on a quest to retrieve them.
Well, by that time, like I was still pretty young, and I had a PlayStation over here, and then I got a PlayStation 2 for Christmas one year, and that was my gaming life from then on.
Aside from like my old original copy of Final Fantasy VII, I know some people will want to shoot me for that. I have all of my childhood games except for that.
See, I was always bigger on comics than video games, like collection-wise. I don't know why.
In my case, my mother would just keep getting rid of them, and years later, I'm thinking, "Mom, why'd you do that? These could be worth something one day."
That's what happened to me. I think my mom threw a lot of them away, and my wife has a lot of comics. Not kind of a lot of comics, but super a lot of comics. All just
are they in the plastic wrap with the cardboard thing, or is it kind of just?
Yes, they are.
Wow.
She was quite a fan of Bookman's and Atomic Comics back in when she lived in Arizona. That was their way of wasting their paycheck, was getting.
Hey, we all gotta have something to waste that money on.
Well, I think I got Arc the Lad because I got an Amazon gift card from a job that I had that I hate now, and all I can think about is mops whenever I think of that job. And they gave me like $100 gift card for being an employee of the month, so I got a 64, and I got a 64 back, and I got Arc the Lad, and I think I got Breath of Fire 3 or a PS1 back, only for that PS1 to go to crap last year, but quality Sony products and all that.
Yeah, I mean, why would we want backwards compatibility to continue to be a trend, right?
Who has time for that? I mean, who cares about backwards compatibility? Liberals?
I swear, when PS3 first started dropping, I was like, no, don't let this be a trend. Yep, it's a trend.
Well, PS4 is for what?
PlayStation. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No, it's fine. I was just gonna make a dumb joke.
I was gonna say, when PlayStation 3 first came out, it was backwards compatible, and then they reverted it. Like, if you find the Gen 1 PlayStation 3, it is backwards compatible.
Yeah, you could still get one that even plays PS2 games, which is rather useful. But from last I heard on eBay, it goes for really high prices. So
really, I had one and it broke on me because I got it at GameStop, and the optical drive broke. And it wouldn't read any discs, so I had it returned. I probably should have kept it and just sold it on eBay then, huh?
Yeah, probably. You could have even... people sell their broken systems, and they're just like, oh, for parts. And it still goes for decent prices. I'm like, who's paying $80 for a broken system? Come on now.
Same people that buy broken-down cars, I guess.
I guess.
They gotta have their fixer-upper, right? Even games.
Oh, man. I should start trolling around the GameStop, see if I can find another one of those.
Although I just looked at GameStop's retro pricing now, and I'm like, yeah, you guys are looking at eBay to determine your prices.
They are, and the thing that bugs me about it is they're not differentiating between boxed copies and loose copies. So on one hand, you could get extremely lucky and get a good price on a complete copy, but then also you could be paying like $80 for a loose Chrono Trigger.
Oh, God.
Because they don't sell them in the store. You order it and they send it from their warehouse, and it's just kind of like, well, we don't care, just send them whatever.
Yeah, it's like ordering from Walmart.com.
Is there any other company besides GameStop that can not know their demographics so much and still? Well, they're not making a profit, aren't they? They're losing money, right?
I'm actually not sure on that.
Considering that ridiculous training video I saw on YouTube, what a surprise! Don't understand their demographic. We're targeting a whole new audience. Women. Oh. It's like, are you shitting me? Really? Hi, welcome to GameStop. What? Don't launch into a game of jogging. He said, welcome to GameStop. That's literally the only words that came out of his mouth.
Wow. I got to see this video.
Thank you.
Well, every time I go to GameStop, there's always women behind the counters. I don't know why they would have.
Yeah, I mean, how is this a new?
Don't tip me. I'll find that video. Don't do it. I know it exists on YouTube. It got riffed on, so I know it's there. Find the riff if I have to.
I'm totally sure that your story of GameStop being competent is true. We have history to back this up.
I'll just take your word on that one.
Oh well, that didn't take long to find. Very first search result on YouTube.
And the movie industry kind of pisses me off too. seems like the only like industry in the world, the only business type industry that can limit supply and complain that people are pirating their shit. They severely limit the supply. Any other business you know of, like pizza, they started delivering. Chinese, they start delivering. Amazon, you can buy stuff online. They're like the only business type structure left that hasn't like evolved. And I think if the film industry doesn't evolve, they're just gonna get left behind.
Well, they need to stop with their remakes of everything.
Yeah,
Well, it's just
you're
like,
asking for too much.
I think it's the delivery more than like the quality, though. Because they're like, oh, so for the first 3 months, you're gonna have to watch this in the movies, and if you miss it in the movies, you're not gonna be able to see it until it comes out in DVD, possibly a year later.
Well, yeah, that's true, but I've noticed that movies come out a lot faster on video. Well, I don't know if you want to call it video, DVD, Blu-ray, whatever, than they used to. Because I remember Jurassic Park. I didn't get to see that in theaters, and I was like, oh man, I really want to see this movie, and I feel like I waited forever for it to come out on VHS.
Seems about right.
I know that don't happen anymore. Yeah.
Well,
You got your
noticed
Redbox, you got your Netflix, you got your DVD, your Blu-ray, you got your digital download, you got Amazon. Good God!
They never stop.
if there was like a Christmas movie I wanted to see, I would make a point to go see it because I knew that it wouldn't come out on DVD till the following Christmas. So if I didn't see it that Christmas, and I like the Santa Claus movies, if I didn't see it in theaters, I would have to wait till next Christmas because they will hold on to it for that long.
Is that the Santa Claus starring Tim Allen, or is that just Santa Claus movies in general?
I was using the Tim Allen one as an example.
Okay.
1-800-SPANK-ME. I know that number.
But if it's a holiday movie and you kind of want to see it, you almost have to see it because then, it's going to be a whole year before you get a chance to see it again.
Yeah, I suppose so. I kind of, well, I mean, for one, I usually don't go to the movies by myself, and then I don't really have friends that go, so I tend not to go usually, but I won't go unless it's something I'm really super interested in, and then even then I'm kind of like, could I wait for this, or go at a time when it doesn't cost me $13 for a ticket?
Just go your own way.
Well, I don't know about you guys, but over here they have like Tuesdays are like half price days.
Yeah. There's if you go
usually
like in the morning or early afternoon, it's like, I don't know, $5-6 instead of 10 or whatever they charge now.
I used to have a thing where I'd go to the movies before a final, and our theater sells wine. Cause
That's interesting.
Wine? How posh is this? We're talking like $30 a ticket?
And I'll have a glass of wine while I watch the movie, and then I would just do better on tests. Like, it would make me feel a lot relaxed, less stressed.
I see what it is. It's that they always play the shitty movies at that theater, so they gotta get people drunk so they can actually put up with it.
Yeah,
it's the Napa Valley. They're like, you can't have a place that doesn't sell alcohol in Napa.
we have actually two chains here because the Texas Hill Country is also a big wine country. So we have like two theater chains here that sell alcohol or wine, especially with their meals.
For some reason, I never would have conflated wine and Texas. I don't know why. It just doesn't seem like it goes together.
Yeah, because there's always the cheap alcohol in Texas. What are you talking about? We ain't rich enough to afford that nonsense. Not unless you're George Bush or whatever.
Give me some blue ribbon.
Well, don't even get me started on that.
Well, at least it's not Rolling Rock. Oh, I'm sorry, nerd. Wait, no, I'm not.
At least it's not Alamo beer.
I fucking hate blue ribbon. Is blue ribbon that much cheaper that like everybody has to buy it, as opposed to every other beer out there?
I guess I remember back when Shiner here was a big deal because Shiner's like it's in between San Antonio and Houston, which there's nothing of value between any of those or both of those cities, and so. But I would have friends that are like, "Oh, we're gonna go to the Shiner tour," and it's like, why would you drive an hour and a half just to go look at somebody make beer? Like you can go right down the street and watch them do
How
that.
bored are you?
I went to the Jack Daniels distillery. That was pretty fun though. But I think the process of making whiskey's a lot funner than making beer.
Well, that's the thing. They still have like brewery because the whole microbrewery thing is a big deal. So it's not like they don't have them in the urban areas. Like I can't remember what it was called in Houston. I think it was like Arnold's or something.
Yeah,
but,
the microbrews are big here too, but it's
but
a hipster thing.
Everybody, well, yeah, every hipster when I lived in Houston was blowing their hipster load over all of that, and that was back in 07, 08.
I've never had someone's homemade beer, homebrew, and it actually be good. Never. So I was at a party one time and the guy handed me a beer. He said, "Oh yeah, I made this." And I popped it up, started drinking it. It tasted like a wine cooler, like a Smirnoff. And like, I don't like sugar that much, but it was just sweet. And for some reason, when I drank beer and it's too sweet, it gives me a stomach ache. So I'm like, I can't finish this, man.
That was probably just due to the fact that he brewed it with dirty socks. So,
Look, he told me he put 7 or 10 or 7 different like types of sugar in there. I'm just like, why?
did he call it the diabetes?
Wilfred Brimley not approved.
Like,
Right on,
I
right on the label.
I felt like telling him, use hops if you like. Use sugar if you want to go cheap. Use hops if you actually want to make a good beer.
I was like, hey, give me more of that Type 2.
Oh God, that thing was like a syrup.
Diabetes.
I'm not even sure if it got me drunk. I'm pretty sure it just got me a sugar high.
You were this close to a crying jag.
I need some insulin.
Like, you know what? I have this sudden feel like I need to amputate one of my limbs.
And he's like, "Do you taste it?" I was like, pear. He's like, "Oh, it's peach, man." I was like, "Yeah, one of the sweetest fruits out there. You relate your beer to. Come on, man. Beer is not supposed to be that sweet. Doing it all wrong."
But
I
yeah,
was under the impression alcohol is supposed to taste terrible, so that's why it's an acquired taste. Only real men can handle how awful it tastes.
God.
You're drinking it for the flavor, you're doing it wrong. You're doing it to get drunk off your ass, right?
Well, it tasted good. I just couldn't drink it.
speaking of which, since I was out of town for a part of last week, and I got to miss Scratch Point's exciting adventure on Thursday. There was one point where we went out all to a bar. It was a work thing. They all went out to a bar, and of course there was a blue ribbon, and I got some kind of red wine. I don't even remember what I had anymore. But it was like one drink, and everybody was already doing stupid stuff. So I took my iPad with me because there was a coworker that said she might ask me questions, and I was going to see my sister later, and so I left it because I was talking to somebody, but I could see it where I was at, so it wasn't like somebody could just go up and take it, but I wasn't going to just walk around with it everywhere because I didn't feel like doing that. So I figured I was close enough to it, and by the time I get it back, like I knew they were taking pictures already because they were already so wasted that they're like, hey, let's screw around with somebody's random iPad, and since I have a 2 and 4-year-old, I know what they can do with iPads without putting in the password. So when I look and I see all my photos, there are all these random blurry pictures or all these ironic middle-aged people trying to do gangsta poses on my iPad, and then I'm like, I'm the youngest person here, and
This is how you were acting.
like I'm the only person that is acting like they have sex on a regular basis. And on that note, we have somebody else who joined the call.
We do. I wasn't paying attention. Oh, hello. Except we have a mute.
Hey, no, that's not a fair term. They prefer the term of speaking challenge.
Is this speech impaired? I'm sorry.
Something like that.
Now, don't go around being a Helen Keller deaf mute. When I call on you,
You sound very far away.
I
Unless you're
think
praying from
this
the
loud
back
ass
room.
is just being too obnoxious.
Can't find my decent mic.
Uh-oh, that's no good.
That's no good. Where's Sonic when we need him?
No, it's just a bunch of loud people. You have 2 New Yorkers and somebody from the Bay Area and somebody who's from various places, and when they get together, they're either going to argue about politics or they're going to just yell.
Isn't that the cliche though? We know, the 3 things you don't talk about: politics, religion, and exes. You don't do that. It was.
I actually had-
It works, right?
I actually had a company meeting where that's the same person that told me I didn't have any experience also said that those are, well, he only mentioned 2 of those things, so I guess we could talk about X's with him, but we couldn't talk about the other 2 things with him. He said that's the only thing that was excluded from his open door policy.
Would you get banned? Now
Well,
entering a
I
safe
get banned
space?
from everything. My existence is the antithesis of a safe space, so I'm banned from everything.
Safe space. The alternative.
I've been banned from Circuit City. I've been banned from
Circuit
countries.
City.
Circuit City. Are they even still? I thought they closed down.
Well, no, they're not. And
Okay,
after they banned me, they went out of business. So
Well, I guess that's again.
Yeah, good track record there.
You had something to do with that, didn't you?
The patriarchy will work again, right?
I may or may not have my hands in a lot of destructive things.
And
I will end you.
that was my hangout, man.
The second person to ban him was Radio Shack.
Well, that's
Actually, was it? I'm trying to think if it was. Did I go to Radio Shack? I don't think so. It might have been.
I kind of want to know how you got banned, though.
You went to Rishak, you asked the wrong question. They're
It had nothing to do with me. It was because my brother and I were working there. My brother was playing video games, and my brother's bigger than I am because he's older than I am. And they were too afraid to tell him because this was in Austin, Texas, and they don't really they're too liberal to say anything too racist or offensive. And so rather than just going and saying you black people are scary, they go to the person that they think they can step to, and they say, well, you guys need to leave. And he was like, well, I want your manager's phone number. And I actually gave him my actual manager's phone number, and he's like, well, he didn't pick up. I'm like, oh, okay. And he's like, well, just tell him when you talk to him that I said you should be a game rep. Okay, person whose name I don't know and I will never see again because I don't usually work 80 miles away or actually 190 miles away from where I live. So, sure, I'll tell him whatever you want me to tell him.
Get right on that.
All I remember from that Circuit City is they had a copy of Dragon Quest VIII, and I was like, well, maybe I should purchase that. But then after he said that, I'm like, I'm never purchasing anything from a Circuit City again.
They lost my business.
And that was just the last straw. That was the last person. That was the last person who would have purchased something.
Yeah.
He just picketed Circuit Cities.
Here.
I did real protesting, not the Tumblr style protesting.
Yeah, real protesting. Say it with not money.
This is 2015. I refuse to buy anything here. We're too progressive for that.
We're too progressive for that. Scratch point 2015.
Well,
Speech right there.
that was 2005, so I guess they weren't progressive enough for it yet. I guess I'm just a trailblazer. No, I'm not, because trailblazers I associate with Portland, and I'm anything but a Portlandite.
That's every time someone says progressive, I think of that How to Be Progressive video Scratch Point did. That was hilarious.
I got called a conservative for that video.
And I hope they got called stupid for calling you. Just saying.
I was just like, okay. I mean, so basically you can't say anything about people that display extreme misbehavior, otherwise you are automatically on the complete opposite side.
They don't like to be called out on it, see?
So the funny thing is I've yet to be called a conservative, but I've been called a liberal all the time.
Especially on the your parody of my channel video.
Yeah, there was somebody that went on a long diatribe about how I must be one of those liberals, and after I looked at that guy's channel and I saw he's from the UK, because all those, every time I see anything online, everybody's like, "Oh, it's always these stupid Americans that just assume that there's one way," and then you have this guy from the UK that's like, "Oh, you're one of those stupid liberals," or something like that.
That reminds me, I actually saw some comment from somebody on YouTube yesterday, and they were just like, "Oh, this doesn't happen in Europe. We're much more refined than this." And I'm like, "Wow, come on, man."
No.
Maybe in some areas.
What are you talking about? Isn't that where that whole protein world drama started? Pretty sure that wasn't an act of progress or refinement.
My boyfriend lives in the UK. He's always saying that that UK is like basically just America Junior. They have no room to talk, so. And it's like,
Which is funny because
sad.
Which is funny because everybody says that about Canada, but Canada's I can't even get started on that.
And of all the nations, you wouldn't think it'd be the UK. We came from the UK, and yet they're the ones imitating us. Something's wrong with this picture. I really swear.
I have some conservative family members, and I think I've told you before. My cousin and the cake, the bakery thing that he posted.
I thought you were going to say the KKK guys. Like, well, you didn't tell us that part.
Wow.
You told us the bakery. You told us the bakery.
Yeah, I had to tell him about what corporation is, and he owns a business. Well, he posted an article about. The article said they're going to classify pedophilia as a sexual orientation now, and he's like, "Look, I said it. Look what I said. I've said this before." And I looked at the article. I scrolled down to the bottom. It says, "Update. This was due to an error, and it has now been fixed."
So in other words, somebody used Gawker Media as the source.
Pretty much. Or he didn't read like the article at all. He just saw the title. It was like, "I'm posting this." Oh man, I really don't like. A lot of people in my family are religious, and most of them are okay. Like most of them are pretty progressive and pretty liberal to a sense, but I have like some just crazy bad shit family members. I'm just like, are you serious?
Oh, so that's most of my family.
I think it rubs off on me too, because I think I'm the only person in the U.S. that thinks, or in California that thinks, cops should not have any weapons that the citizens don't have. But I don't know. I don't know if that's an extreme view, but that's the most extreme view I can think that I have.
But you're not supposed to carry guns, and California is a safer place because they don't carry guns anymore.
Oh yeah, let's go to Harlem. And
the Confederate flag's just right out, right? Don't you
I don't
carry
really-
that shit right here.
I really don't care about the Confederate flag. I don't think it should be on any state building. But if somebody wants to have it in their house, I don't see no problem with that.
Honestly, I just don't see.
Or my high
what
school
good
had
it's
it all
gonna
over the
do.
place.
Trying to be all like, "Oh, we're not gonna have any flag anymore." We're
But I mean,
gonna
if it's on the state flag, I don't see a problem with that either. Like, I just don't think that a government building should just have the Confederate flag on it with the U.S. flag.
I just don't see what good they think they're gonna accomplish by somebody by trying to ban a piece of cloth. So what's gonna happen when some idiot goes on a shooting spree and waves an American flag? Are we gonna start burning that? Oh, we better not talk about that. Big Brother might be listening to me. Ooh.
No, the 60s are over.
I'm just saying.
We don't burn American flags anymore.
I'm just saying, is that what we're gonna do then, or?
I think Jane Fonda would have had a lot worse career if she did her stunts now.
Jane Fonda shouldn't even have had a career. I've seen her movies, and
Wasn't that an exercise tape lady or something?
She was, but she was a Vietnam supporter.
Oh, okay. See, that was a little before my time. I'm sorry.
Yeah, it is a little before my time too, but she supported Vietnam, went out there, and I don't know exactly what she did, but pretty much the military hates Jane Fonda to like an extreme level, even today.
Damn.
extreme hate.
She's like the Voldemort of the U.S. Army. Shall not be named.
Extreme hate tonight on the O'Reilly Factor. No spin zone, am I right?
Oh, Fox News.
Faux news, fairly unbalanced, and all that.
You know, I actually had a person that told me that Japan was a sexually open place. They were more sexually open than Americans were.
In
Do
their
these people
heads.
know anything, or
Well,
Their
that's what I tried
sexuality
to.
is kind of weird.
Well-
That's what I tried to explain, but he said, well, you know, they're, or he said, no, they're just more open-minded and accepting about it. Yeah, the same country that has porn with tentacles in it is not as repressed as we are. Okay, as I said, to get to the point where you have tentacles involved, you might be a little bit repressed.
Well, see, the way that I kind of explain it with Japan and sexuality, it's the opposite of America, where America will talk about it all the time, but if you see it, we freak out. To them, it's the opposite. They don't talk about it. It's really conservative to them, but they'll have in stores just like boobs that you can buy.
that does kind
And
of seem
anuses. Don't
Way it
forget
goes.
about the anuses.
That too.
Well, I would like to go to Japan just because they have vending machines that have beers in them.
Oh, I thought you were going to say they have vending machines that have underwear in them.
That's what I was about. That was my first. Like,
No.
well, I know they had those.
2 for 1, man. get a claw game for girls' underwear.
Yeah, didn't you ever listen to Jeff Foxer? I like a beer. I like to see something naked.
Everyone's a winner.
That's misogyny.
So, okay, at this point, are we saying is it worse to be Japanese or worse to be a redneck? Sometimes I'm wondering.
Well, since I'm not from Georgia, I don't have to deal with that possibility that
I'm originally
I have
from
to choose.
Texas, so whatever that's worth. I don't sound like it. I'll probably never sound like it, but yeah, I was born and raised in Texas. So I've only been here for a few years, so.
I can hear your accent. I'm from Alabama.
You can hear my accent? I've
Yeah.
never sounded Texan to myself. Maybe I just have the wrong idea
No,
of
compared
Texan.
to a lot of people, it's not that strong, and I don't have a strong accent for being from Alabama, but it's there.
Because I hear things like the cowboy kid in Mighty Ducks 2, and I'm like, I'll never sound like that. No one's ever gonna believe I'm from Texas.
I actually
Yeehaw! And all that.
I actually have a tough time explaining to people that I'm actually from New York. They say, "Well, your accent sounds very southern and all that," but then then I'm in Texas or I'm in the South, and they're like, "You don't sound like you're from here."
Yeah, that's
I'm from Alabama. People ask me if I was from California.
I haven't
California's
gotten that.
awesome, so that was definitely a compliment.
two New York for Texas and 2 Texas for New York.
Now we needed some Brooklyn
He gets
rain.
his-
He gets his salsa from New York.
New York City. I'm stupid, but I love
That's the second pace reference for the evening.
Man, I missed the first one. Then I'm sad face because I love those commercials. They were stupid, but they were hilarious to me. Pick up the chunky one. Pick up the pace.
You know, I think I actually have that commercial recorded on video somewhere because I used to record like Dragon Ball when they ran it on WB and Cartoon Network, and they used to play those commercials all the time.
What?
So I probably have a
Commercial for pace on Dragon Ball. I'm sorry. Am I having a disconnect here?
kids love salsa. What can I say?
I guess I never learned. I'm sorry.
Man, I can't wait to see what's going to happen with Vegeta next. Maybe I should go get some Totinos or Tostitos.
Good thing I have my Cheetos. Oh wait, no, I'm sorry. It's Fanta and Doritos, right?
Probably or Mountain Dew, one of the two.
But
I'm talking to Dark Side Phil or not.
But I like the fact that they can't even do those commercials anymore because now whoever the parent company that owns Pace is, they're headquartered in Plano, so they can't do those commercials anymore. But even then, back then, I didn't know that they were based here in San Antonio, so I was just like, oh well, maybe they're just saying that because I certainly didn't believe anybody in New York City ever made salsa. I was like, well, call me crazy, but I don't remember last year when I lived in New York anybody like, hey, let's go make some salsa. I didn't even know what salsa was.
Yeah, I thought it was just a dance.
Exactly. I was like, but then I go here, but I'm here and people don't know what any of the stuff I ate. Like somebody yesterday complained, like, oh, the only thing there is to do on the East Coast is eat pizza, and I was like, that one, no, but two, how's that any better than anything here? It's like everything here is, well, if you're South Texas, you get Tex-Mex added to it, but if you're anywhere else in Texas, it's just barbecue. That's the only thing that there is. If they have Tex-Mex, it's not everybody who's from South Texas says it's not good because it's not. It's either too healthy or not. I've actually had white people tell me that it's white people Mexican food, which I don't know what that is, but
I think the term
somebody.
is bueno food.
Bueno food? Did I hear that right?
Bueno.
Oh,
I
sorry.
actually, one of my sister's friends was originally from Mexico, and she's talked about Taco Bell, saying how it was bueno food.
I was gonna say, like, wait a minute.
Well, it's like
It's like that made me think of that ridiculous Donald Trump is, oh, he ate his pizza with a fork. Oh.
Well, it's also the same with Outback Steakhouse. Like, you won't find anything in the Outback Steakhouse restaurant that's from the Outback. They don't eat like that. I think they're more European influenced, not necessarily steak and burgers and shrimp on the Barbie sort of thing.
Yeah, they're headquartered in Dallas anyway. And then then Olive Garden. Olive Garden is as authentic Italian as it is headquartered in Orlando of all places. So that chicken Alfredo, that's some genuine Orlando food, whatever that is.
You're gonna tell me Walker Texas Ranger was born in Oklahoma?
Could have been.
Actually, I'm pretty sure he was, and it's like nobody ever talks about it or something.
But
Yeah,
Chuck Norris.
Yeah, when I
he's
actually looked at that, I was like, okay, so why did they make him a Texas Ranger? If he
I
was-
know, it's like, wait, what? Don't mess with
Oklahoma
Texas, said the
Ranger doesn't
Oklahoma.
sound as good.
Yeah, I guess. Sorry, Oklahoma. We'll make a Broadway play about you and being a Texan. Forget a Oklahoma Ranger.
What's his name? Sean Connery, the really bad actor that did that like karate demonstration in Russia a couple months back. Was that Sean Connery?
Really? I don't even know if he. What does he have to do with martial arts?
That was my first.
I'm confused.
Like, hey, when did he get?
Well,
last I heard him for-
they-
Oh no, not Sean Connery. I'm messing up his name. I forget his name. Never mind. It wasn't Sean Connery. No, it was somebody else. I forget his name. I purposely avoid his movies because I hate him. I can't remember his name though. Definitely wasn't Sean Connery. What's that?
Jackie Chan?
No, he's a white
Martial arts
guy.
ain't bad.
He's a white
He's
guy?
a white guy.
You're not talking about like
Thank you,
Sean
Internet.
William Scott or something, are you?
No, he's a little bit older. He did like a Russian like karate demonstration. He did a karate demonstration in Russia, and he like was so fat. And
Oh, is it
Like,
Steve?
we have Steven
Are you talking about
Seagal
Steven Seagal?
Yeah, that's him.
That's what I was saying. I was like, no, it couldn't be.
with his greasy hair plucked ponytail.
Steven Seagal gives martial arts master class in Russia. Oh God, thank you, YouTube. I really needed it. That's what I get for Googling. Don't ever Google shit. Don't ever do it. Don't do it.
I never got how he
Google.
became famous. He's a bad actor. He clearly doesn't know karate. I just don't get it.
Somebody, one of our viewers picked up that somebody was playing Mega Man 7 and X7 in the background.
How can you hear that?
Oh
all
God, Mega Man X7. Oh, I kept thinking I was here charging up shelves.
That-
I'm like, no.
That is
That's
a
all-
good ear.
That's on the other side of the room.
I feel like I should
Why X7? Why X7? Or do you hate yourself?
I should give him a prize for that one.
And nobody's actually playing it. They're just watching a video of X7.
Okay.
I was really good of
nothing.
all the Mega Man franchise games to put
You lose.
Good taste.
And if we were ever playing X7 in this house, I would never admit it. There are some games I'm willing to admit that we have, like Clash at Demon Head, but I draw the line at Mega Man X7.
I never bought one, but I got one as a prize for something.
At least the box art for Clash at Demon Head is really awesome. In that '80s sci-fi fantasy movie kind of way.
I don't know because I always turn the cartridge over.
Don't make me look at it.
Yeah, it's one of those it looks better with the lights off type situations.
Oh my god, I'm trying to find a gym near my house, and I can't find anything that I want to do. Sorry, I'm like trying to do my own thing while in this call.
Are you gonna do some gym selfies?
Oh, totally.
Hashtag get ripped.
No, I was wanting to do a martial arts, but I don't want to do taekwondo.
Well, this is cultural appropriation territory, and I think we should be careful.
I'm watching this Steven Seagal thing, doing the martial arts thing in Russia. I swear he looks more like Jim Belushi doing this.
Well,
like I go somebody.
If I go Kaji
Does
Kembo,
it
it's
just
based in
say
Hawaii, so.
in Russia martial arts do you or something?
I guess because this looks so like they're doing practice before they start filming a movie. This doesn't look very. It just doesn't mesh. I'm not a martial arts expert, but I don't look right. I'm sorry.
I go Kaji Kembo, and that's based in Hawaii, I found out. So would that still be cultural appropriation?
Well, Hawaii in general is cultural appropriation, so.
Oh, okay. Oh man, I can't find any places good. Because I tried the Kaji Kembo, and it was like, I want to do like more like wrestling style martial arts. And I know Taekwondo is not that. Taekwondo, I think, is mostly kicking.
I'm actually not sure.
Well, kicking's for girls, am I right? My fellow,
Chun-Li.
am I right? My fellow men going their own way.
Oh god. Now flashing back to Mega Man 8 because of that rock ball thing you have to use.
Man, somebody should actually play that game. Or any game that's not Mega Man X7.
I don't know, is Mega Man 8 really a much better choice? Have you heard that voice acting? We gotta go now. What Mega Man?
Yeah, but you can press the start button for that.
Okay, I suppose that's true. Gameplay-wise, it is still pretty good. I'm not gonna say otherwise.
I actually did have a conversation with my wife about that. I was like, I've missed out on all the terrible voice acting because whenever the cutscenes came up, I just pressed the start button as a kid and skipped through all of that. Like, who plays Mega Man games for stories?
Yeah, who cares if Rock said, I gonna do what I should have done years ago or whatever.
Who plays Mega Man games for stories? I would imagine Christian conservatives that are only interested in good versus evil narratives.
Mega Man Legends, duh.
Well, you're going full Macintosh over here.
My God's gonna come one of those liberal, biased YouTube videos. Maybe upload the Christianity sub 4. Wait, no, that doesn't exist on YouTube anymore.
Hold on, guys. I need to make a website with my wife and create a Twitter account where we talk about tropes versus black people in gaming. Be right back.
That would be a great parody series, actually.
I don't know, I was suddenly some random thing came on a YouTube channel series, Tropes versus Dopes. I don't know why, just some random came on my mind.
Is that a drug?
No, it isn't stupid people, but if you really want to make the joke, well.
So were you in that group that hang out with Redbot Scratchpoint?
Yeah.
Oh,
But
okay.
I left before. I think I left before you came back in.
Okay. Because I know that Spider Cat guy.
I think his I think his name was Mitchell. I don't know what his username is or anything. But yeah, the Spider Cat avatar stood out.
But I don't know. He was giving that one guy a hard time, like.
Mark, the guy that was on my stream.
Yeah, he was giving him a hard time. Like, I couldn't even get a word in edgewise.
Because he wanted to marry. Because he wants to marry his girlfriend, right?
Yeah, I was like, dude, like,
Stupid.
you know, I have nothing against like I know you have opinions for MGTOW. I don't really. As long as they don't like try to appropriate other people and say you got to be this.
Well,
I'm fine with
that's my problem. Like the ones that I've come across are the ones that are trying to tell people how to live their lives, yet they want to live their life their own way. What hypocrisy much?
Yeah, I don't think he's saying literally all
I just-
MGTOW or anything, just the ones he's having to cover.
Yeah, I mean, like when I say it, it's shorthand for, you know, the people that are being assholes.
Yeah.
If there's some moderates out there, I haven't come across them, but you know, I'm not saying they're not. It's just that the loudest voices are usually the idiots.
Well,
Sounds like
the
that
only
might game facts.
the only MGTOWs I've known of was the YouTube ones like Bane666 and Thinking Ape and the two guys that got doxxed a while back. Those are the only ones I knew of, so I figured, well, these guys aren't too bad. So, but that was like the first time actually like in a conversation with somebody from MGTOW and him just being a complete asshole. I was like, dude, just, somebody wants to do what they do. Let them make their own mistakes.
I'm sad I left.
Oh, God.
But also then to like imply that it's definitely going to be a mistake is just so messed up.
I hope that's a legal copy of Photoshop.
Because you can disagree with you you can disagree with the ideal the institutionalized idea of marriage and all that, but that doesn't necessarily mean that no marriages work out. I mean, there's obviously people that go the distance, and it's wrong to say, well, everyone's going to get screwed over just because I did or whatever.
Well, and you'd have to say like the dichotomy of I don't know if that's the right word, but the whole concept of marriagehood is bad for you to say that. And I don't necessarily think it's completely bad. It's a trusting. It provides a good scenario for children, for offspring. Even if you don't want children, the future is also a companionship. You know, it's like, hey, I'm with you for the rest of my life. You're with me for the rest of my life. I think that's where people need to like just keep it. You know.
So if we're
Yeah,
talking about
that's
marriage,
good.
then it's going to be a current hangout. We got to talk about the whole gay marriage thing too, right?
Oh,
Well, it is 2015, so let's get with the time.
those gays don't get no rights.
Hey, it's the 20
Take
G.
me out of context, I dare you. No, I'm glad. I was surprised they did that. I think I remember hearing a while back that it was going to Supreme Court, but I just woke up one day and they're like, "Yay, gay marriage got approved." And my first thought, I feel bad, but my first thought was, can they do that in the Supreme Court? Because marriage is a state right. Marriage isn't something the Supreme Court has any control over at all.
I guess that's why there were certain states still kind of holding out on it.
Yeah.
I can only imagine how my mother freaked out about it. She's always been against it for Florida. She's fine with gays, but not with the marriage. And I'm like, how can you go halfway? How do you go halfway? I'm like, great, Mom. So what happens when I get a boyfriend? Are you just not gonna are you gonna say no? I don't want you to get married?
Are you gay?
No, I find it funny
Bisexual,
that I
but
moved
anyway.
away to a state that will actually let me get married, and as soon as I do that, now it's legal everywhere.
You know what they should do? They should just say you only have 2 marriages that you can have, and if you get divorced, there goes 1 strike. And then the next person you marry, you have to stay with. That would suck so bad.
Well, celebrities would never make it.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, they were under the marriages with 3 strikes, just like a guy going to jail or whatever.
People try to find loopholes. They'll be like, we never had sex. We didn't consummate the marriage. Sure.
be like the
3 years.
or whatever. Process
well, no, for some people that'll work. I mean, look at Radical Bites.
Oh God. What didn't she complain a while back about people blocking her? Like I could have sworn, I don't know. I'm always sketchy about what people post because I like found a program that can let you send messages that make them look legit, like they came from an iPhone, but they're not. You just type them up, have them say whatever you want. So whenever I see those things, I just do something up real quick, like look what I made. It looks just like the one people are pointing out. Like it's like somebody will have their names like I'm Gamergate, I'm gonna kill you to somebody, and then it's just like you could just type that up. We know that a lot of these people have faked their harassment. Just look at Brianna Wu. she got busted for it.
Well, they're not even clever about it. They somebody who's really going out there to harass you is probably not going to be worried about what hashtag they're using.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know. It's the whole narrative. It's just like one of these days people are going to realize, wait, I'm getting harassed like that one person did. Wait, I'm a white male and I have power. Wait, maybe it isn't maybe they're not being sexist. Maybe they're just assholes on the internet.
Yeah.
Maybe that's where the internet accumulates assholes.
Assholes on the internet? Surely.
I know.
Surely
Weird
not.
concept.
Tell her be surprised.
It's a weird thing.
Hashtag harassed feminist, right?
I mean, I've gotten in arguments, and when I first got into Twitter, I maintained like all my stuff was I never put out any of my stuff. No one knew if I was a male. No one knew if I was how old I was. No one knew if I was gay or straight. I'd get in arguments with feminists on Twitter, and they'll go, "Oh, typical white man." I'm like, "How do you know I'm white, and how do you know I'm a man?"
Because
Like-
only white men make those arguments. It's universal.
I was like, "You're labeling me as something that you have no information about. I know you're a woman because I can see your pictures. I can see like your blog. I know you're a female. I know you're a male. I know you're white. You don't know anything about me." And I figured it wasn't fair, so I was like, I just put out I'm a dude.
weren't any of these people raised about assumptions they will make an ass out of you?
Yeah, well, that's what I've noticed. Like, they will run on assumptions. They'll tell their friends, like, Luke, this white, cisgender male, and next thing you know, it's actually like a Jewish gay black man that they were talking to. They just assumed it was something.
Lenny Kravitz? No.
What is this nonsense about anyway? I just suddenly ran into one day. I'm like, I've never heard this word. What does that mean? I'm asking the wrong question. I'm sorry. This isn't Bill O'Reilly.
What question?
No, like I remember like a few months or so. I first ran into the term cis, and I'm like, wait, huh?
Oh.
I never heard it. I'm like, what does that mean exactly?
Yeah. When I remember coming across that, and I'm like, why are people using this like it's a legitimate term?
I've never even heard of something like, what does that mean? What are you accusing this person of being or doing or whatever? What does that mean?
Well, people got butthurt because there was gay, fag, queer for gays, but there's only straight for straight people. They're like,
But now they use that as a term of endearment. Like, I'm a black queer trans, and it's like, I thought that was a derogatory term.
oh man. So they wanted another derogatory term for straight people. And
But they claim that it's not.
Yeah. It's derogatory. It completely is.
I'm pretty sure that's the only context I've ever seen it used in, but okay.
It's like saying
Guys,
fuck.
cis scum.
It's like saying fuck. It's like saying fuck is only a sexual term.
It's not. I don't even have to go quote South Park, wherever it was.
It's like word logic. It's how you use a word. Like, I can say you're a piece of shit, and it can be endearing.
No,
like-
we're not allowed to.
it-
We're not allowed to put context into anything.
I mean, seriously, you say it's shit or you say it's the shit, and that means completely opposite things, and all you do is add an article. So,
Well, I think
Even
even
so.
in like Australia, cunt is considered like a pretty okay thing to say.
Yeah, it seems like they throw it out there pretty easily without, and it's not that big of a deal.
Yeah, I've heard that before too.
My favorite thing that I've heard, I don't know how true this is, but I heard that this saying comes from Australia, and they just say, "I'm not here to fuck spiders."
what?
I'm not even-
What?
I mean, since you asked.
I give up. There's something you don't want.
Hey, there's a hentai for that, okay?
From
There's
what I
hentai for everything. It's more than apps. It's worse than apps even. There's hentai for everything.
from what I understand, it basically just means I'm not here. I'm not messing around, or like.
I'm sure there's a hentai for like people with a fetish for one-eyed Episcopalian kangaroos.
Well,
I think that for a movie. Don't ask.
the U.S. has some weird words.
Or like the plumber shows up to your house and you're like, "Are you gonna fix the toilet?" And he's like, "Well, I'm not here to fuck spiders."
Good. Oh Jesus Christ.
But you're
The
not
world is a
you're,
special
you're
place.
you're not implying that if I hired you for that and
That you'd be against-
I had my HD camera with me,
Oh.
Would fucking spiders cost extra?
$50.
There's a nominal fee for that.
I'm genuinely curious at this point.
I mean, I know it's not on the menu, but I figured this was an In-N-Out burger kind of thing where you can request stuff off the menu.
Oh, man, you said it. I gotta go in and out now.
Yeah.
I went a couple of days ago because they have pink lemonade, and pink lemonade is the most important thing in life. So
They have pink lemonade? They don't have pink lemonade at mine. In and out.
Oh,
Well,
is that why the new turned pink in Chrono Trigger? Man, maybe that's what it is. Scratch point. Once you said you're inside on this.
I should change my avatar to the pink new. That way, I'm more inclusive.
Are you making a gender commentary there, or
Yeah,
you
because
should just put a joint in his mouth and to support what he plays in, man.
is he Nick Fury, or is he a new here?
Man, that's racist against pink news.
I'm sorry, guys. I'm just looking at this this Photoshop work here.
I'm just waiting until we get to the boobs.
Speaking of entirely,
There are none. No.
well, some say once you've had
I-
flight, you never go back. So hell, I don't know.
I've got it up on the big screen now.
See, you're not objectifying her enough. I'm a
Okay.
man.
Yeah.
I need to object.
Rule 34 for dummies. There you go. That's how it's done. Congratulations.
Well, we didn't ask age, so we don't know if it's
Oh, man,
legal.
I don't have any cash. You take credit cards for tips.
Oh shit.
PayPal, open PayPal donations.
Okay, so
Putting money in.
so you're creating a New Orleans woman.
Oh.
Almost.
God, I was getting a female Wario vibe for a second there.
Hairy nipples. Ugh.
There's probably a fetish for that. Don't be
Too much
don't be
objectification.
I can't be objectifying her. I'm a woman.
Just like you can't be racist if you're black, right? Because that thing. Oh, jeez, internet.
Do you actually do that with a mouse, or do you have like a pin tool that you use?
I have a tablet.
Oh, okay.
A Wacom.
It would be impossible for me to use a mouse because I'm left-handed. And I have to use the mouse in my right hand.
See, another form of discrimination.
Yeah,
Left-handed
exactly. There's-
discrimination.
Yeah, when are they going to have scissors for us?
I'm actually left-handed too. So
That's
I'm
not fair at all.
left-handed, but I actually can't use left-handed scissors.
the weird thing about me though is I write with a pencil left-handed. I'll eat with a fork left-handed. I'll play guitar left-handed. But everything else I do is right-handed.
Man, that's just bias. Not all left-handed people are sinister. That's just bias. Anyway,
Yeah.
that joke, but anyway.
I'm left-handed, and I married a left-handed
This is what
with
I finished
right-handed
today.
children.
That's,
I used to be left-footed, and then some point between middle school and high school, I reverted to my right foot.
left hand. Well, at least as long as you didn't marry a DTD, right?
I don't know what happened. I remember distinctively remembering that I was left-footed, and my teacher saying, "Oh man, you're left-footed." I was like, "Oh, cool. I'm unique." And then somehow, like after middle school, I started kicking with my right foot again. I do not know how that happened, but
I've heard of being right left-handed. I've never heard of being left or right-footed offhand. I can't say. Huh? That's new to me. I mean, it makes sense, but I never thought about that before. So.
I had somebody call me Southpaw when I was in middle school, and I had no idea what that was.
Oh, yeah.
I wouldn't have either until the days of the internet and Punch Out. It's only because they're talking about Soda Popinski, I think it was, being a quote-unquote Southpaw. I'm like, what does that mean?
Like, I'm sorry, I don't understand your country patois. I don't know what Southpaw is.
I didn't watch Rocky. What the hell are you talking about?
And I interestingly enough, that was the only time I've ever read a Lord of the Rings book, and I was reading it right then. I was like, yeah, I've got like 600 pages of novel to read here, and I don't have time to chit-chat about my laterality.
Laterality. Great. That people start thinking of that like sexuality or gender even. Gender, sexuality, laterality.
I am a left-handed bi-gender.
Oh God, wait a minute. I understand the need to be identified, but let's not go too far here. Jeez.
Whenever somebody asks me anything, I take a page from Mega Man 3 and I just have question mark as my answer.
Gender, male, female, neutral, question mark, actually. I'm a gonzo. That's what it is. I'm a gonzo.
Like, what is your name?
Otherkin.
I identify as being a dock robot.
Yeah, exactly. There you go. I identify as being a missing number. Thank you. 2 question marks.
And
I
so,
do that, by the way.
I identify as Casanova, and
Ooh,
the most
la la.
handsome man in the
Well, as long
world.
as it's not Don Quixote. Don Quixote
I-
might get worse.
I think I identify as Castlevania myself.
Now,
Oh,
now that I think about it, I think I identify as a bread box. Utilitarian.
Colonel. Now I'm
Is-
flashing back
By box, do you mean with female genitalia?
now I'm flashing back
Bread
to
box.
Metal Gear for some reason.
And
Colonel,
you
I'm
know,
over here.
just like me.
Colonel, I'm in a bread box. I don't know how this happened.
Bread box.
That's my
It can't
name.
be.
That's terrible.
These are some stockings here that we're looking at.
Actually, they're like athlete leggings. Those are
Oh,
her
I'm
legs.
gonna die. I'm
Hipsters.
dead.
And make sure you color inside the lines. That's what they taught us in elementary school, right?
Well, coloring inside the lines is oppression. So
Honestly, no. I never liked coloring growing
stop
up.
stop limiting our artistic freedoms.
And that's why I'm about to submit my white on white painting.
But yeah, seriously, growing up, I could never stand coloring. They would always try to get us coloring, but I couldn't stand. I'm like, oh, I hate this. I can't do this. I don't want to. Leave me alone. Even up to 6th grade, and then by then I'm like, seriously, we're in 6th grade. Are we done yet? We're in junior high. Why are we still coloring in coloring books? Apologies to those who actually have coloring.
Wow,
If you're listening, I'm sorry. Anyway.
they really must be behind the times in West Texas if they're coloring in 6th grade.
At least at the time, yeah, Kermit, Kermit Jr. I remember Kermit, the same city where that kid got suspended for taking a Lord of the Rings ring to school.
Which is funny because in my middle school we had a Lord of the Rings book.
Yeah, so. And you also can't take a science book to class because it depicted a pregnant woman. Oh God, no! Can't have that.
I remember reading The Hobbit in like 4th grade from the library. So
Well, I don't read because I went to school in Texas and we don't read books.
Okay. Real nice. That's classy. Penis thing.
That's what that thing is. I don't know what it is. It's just penis
It's-
thing.
Oh.
Blur?
I think it was
Yeah.
based off of one of the weird monsters from
Yeah,
Mickey or something.
It does have a Patricia Hernandez look to it.
I don't even. I'm not even gonna ask.
Uh-oh, now somebody's going to talk about Super Mario Brothers being a rape fantasy.
Oh, remember the Super Mario Brothers, Super Mario Maker, the whole racist thing that I kind of jumped on last year when there was the one Kotaku comment that they started bitching about how it was racist that there was a white hand. Well, a couple of days ago, a guy actually wrote an article making that claim. So I was like, wow, I called this a year ago.
Yeah, even though you can change the color of the hand.
Yeah, it came to find out that you could change the color of the hand, and you could even change it to be like a cat.
Oh well, that's
so that's for
more
the
cat representation.
that's
Exactly.
used against cats. Actually, you're using them as objects.
that's for feline frequency.
Cats are not objects. They're
Take that, patriarchy.
Oh my god.
Actually, gonna say there's a hamsterarchy or some crap.
Well, Hamtaro or whatever.
I haven't seen the hamsters that I
Only
have
Japan.
to work with. They're little shits.
Then there'll be birds that are tweeting. No, literally tweeting, right? Back in my day, tweeting was only talking about birds.
Hashtag the real birds.
Hashtag real tweeting. To everything. No, not that
No,
flock
no,
of
no,
eagles.
we're not gonna go there.
Not that.
I was waiting for it, but we're not gonna go there.
The 70s, 80s, there was a flock of seagulls and a gas shortage. That's about it. Thanks, Austin Powers.
Oh, there were action movies too. So there were people getting their heads blown off, and people going deep undercover.
I don't know. Now that I think about it, phallic mouth, that seems kind of sexist too, right?
But it's sexist against men, which is impossible. Therefore,
Just like it's possible to be racist against whites, right?
You have to remember, sexism and racism is power plus what you call
Prejudice.
it. Yeah.
well, I'm no math major, so I don't know the equation for that.
For a second, I was thinking something like power plus 2. I'm like, wait, when did we start talking about Dungeons and Dragons? When did racism go into that? Jeez. Your racism stat is now 2. That's not good.
I like just hearing that for me just seems messed up. Like, it just seems wrong. Like, you can be racist. Like, oppression is probably, racism plus or prejudice plus race or plus power. That's probably oppression, but racism doesn't seem to follow that line at all.
Okay, math was weird enough when they started putting letters. Now they're putting whole words. Oh, forget it. I'll never keep up with math now.
I didn't really realize you needed power to hate somebody.
I know.
Well, you told me power to express that hate. Am I right?
Not if you have a Tumblr account and an internet connection.
The internet connection costs money. Oh wait, no, they're all relying on their parents, right?
But you'd also have to think what power though, because I grew up poor as fuck. I didn't have any authority or power growing up, and I still don't necessarily have any. I'm just like a college student at this point. So what kind of power do I have over other people?
Although thinking about the whole Tumblr internet connection thing, when I was younger, it was a thing to be a weekend warrior. What is it now? A Tumblr warrior?
Probably.
Yeah, way to support your cause there. Tumble about it.
It's just a keyboard warrior.
The keyboard. There you go. There we go.
Keyboard Warrior 2. You fought the Tumblr Lord. Now you have to fight the evil sorcerer.
So what is it? The Quickening, Resurrection. What overused subtitle we're going to use for the sequel? The Highlander.
That actually reminded me that I need to see if I can do that hack of Dragon Warrior and call it Social Justice Warrior.
Oh, Este Warrior.
Wingardium Leviosa.
I don't know what the slime would be though. And
Generic Tumblrite or something.
instead of the spell hurt, it would be oppress.
Obviously.
Null privilege.
Oh yeah, stop privilege.
You say oppressed and something mind flashes back to A Bug's Life. That was totally progressive social commentary film, right? Totally talking about.
Except it was cultural appropriation when they made the joke about the poo-poo platter.
Although it was still being progressive because the ladybug was male, so that's a thing, right?
Trans representation.
Does everything have to be represented, though? Let's just be honest. The next Mario game better represent bronies, or I'm going to launch a protest.
Well, instead of Yoshi, I heard he's going to use a pony.
My little Yoshi, my little Yoshi. Oh, no.
What's the difference between liking My Little Pony and liking SpongeBob or Scooby-Doo?
That's a good question.
Is there a distinct difference? Because I love SpongeBob.
Honestly, no. I'm gonna be serious. More like what you like. Why should anybody care? It ain't hurting them any.
I mean, I like cartoons as well. It's just that cartoon was originally designed for girls, but boys picked up on it and were like, "Oh, this is pretty cool."
Yeah, I mean,
That's called penis thing.
You took a while for you to notice that. Yeah, that's. And it's ew, it's drooling. That means it's nasty. This is now an R-rated hangout. Ugh.
Why is it touching that girl in the head? Is that some kind of commentary?
Did I see a duck too?
By the way, I'm racist because I got sunburned the other day.
You're trying to blend in with the that's called race trader, right?
Trans ethnicity or something.
I don't think they have many people like that where you live, so you might not be welcome if you do that.
Or they might think you're Guido.
Well, they'll tell me to go back to the city. Well, I am 50% Italian, so I could pull it off if I really wanted to.
Go on Jersey
Well, I'm
Shore,
1/16th Native American.
15% Italian. What does that mean? Half your meals are spaghetti?
Well, then
I don't
I'm
know.
sorry we stole your land.
I'm sorry we appropriated your culture.
Actually, I think I'm a lot more than that. I just don't give a shit. But
Manifest
I have, like,
destiny.
family members who
Manifest
are actually in a tribe.
I'm surprised there's been a Tumblr hashtag against Manifest Destiny, even though that was like 100, 200 years ago.
I prefer Manifold Destiny myself.
Manifold Destiny.
Do I even
Do I
want
have
to
to look that up?
It was from Daria, one of the people. He didn't understand Manifest Destiny, so he said it's like Manifold Destiny. He's a football player, so of course he didn't learn anything. He called
The dumb white male jock stereotype. See?
Yeah, he called discrimination crimination or something like that.
Okay. Wow.
I really
All right,
love
so
that
this
show.
art is going straight to DeviantArt once the hangout's over, right?
Well, it's
It might go
order
viral.
this
You never
thing
know.
out. But yeah, it is going to be on DeviantArt, and this is on DeviantArt that I finished today.
People always talking shit about DeviantArt. Some of it's all right.
Fuck, cat! Ow!
Oh, so
Hashtag kitty abuse. I mean, kitty abusing human, right?
Ugh. He tried to climb up on top of me with his claws.
Oh, what fucking hit me?
Man, I thought that was a reaction. You put an angry eyebrow because you're mad at the cat.
Oh, I'm
Well, I
cold.
am, but still.
It was like, great. Feelings transferred to art. I guess you do have to feel pain to be an artiste. Fuck you, kid. There you go. Straight to DeviantArt. 10,000 views overnight. It goes with the whole viral cat thing, right? You don't have to actually put a cat on there. You just have to say the word cat and it brings everyone in. And kitty face, make it complete. Well, at least it's not Simon action anyway. Damn you, Cat Mario, why do you exist?
Oh man.
I wish I could play that game again, but that would be disrespectful.
Any of you guys play Don't Starve?
no, but I did see the trailer for it.
I have
No, but I lived it.
Yeah, I'm sure all of us have at some point. We're all just poor white folks trying to make it. Oh wait, I'm sorry. We're the wrong race to be poor. White people can't be poor, right?
Well, I hopped into the server and it's winter, and I'm probably gonna freeze to death.
See that? Starving and freezing to death is just a game for you white people.
It is.
You can turn the game off, but I can't turn my life off, you bastard.
Well, remember they told us we weren't even supposed to be up north. We were supposed to be in warmer climates where we could survive that. So we're not designed to handle the cold at all.
Oh yeah.
That doesn't explain the Great Black Migration at all, but
We could safely ignore that.
Never anything that doesn't go with someone's. Shit, what is this?
They just migrated to Detroit anyway, and look at what happened to that. So.
Yeah, next thing you know, Detroit gets a movie called 8 Mile. No, I'll be honest, I kind of like that movie, so shoot me.
Thanks, Eminem.
But remember, he was not the first white rapper. You can blame Vanilla Ice for that.
No, there was one before that, because when Wu-Tang did Cream, the Cash Rules Everything Around Me, that actually came from a white rapper. I don't remember his name. It was like Sean something, but he was from the 80s.
Can't forget about the Beastie Boys.
I ain't bumping no Beasties. Damn it.
Well, I didn't mention them because I don't like the Beastie Boys, but...
Just remember, it's always easier for a white man to see in a black man's medium, am I right?
Am I right, guys?
Sorry, Azalea.
Fuckface. Yeah, I was just representing the movie. Nobody knows.
So yeah, I had to deal with constant Brooklyn losers saying no sleep till Brooklyn when they were back home visiting. Like, we get it, you're from New York. You don't see me talking about Poughkeepsie all the time.
And let me guess, if you disagree with them, they displayed Brooklyn Rage, right? They went all Joey Wheeler on you.
Yeah, actually, I was there a couple of weeks ago, and I don't think I ever want to go back. So it's hipster zone.
Sounds like the
Act
last time I went back to Texas to visit my family. I feel like, nope, not coming back. Forget that. Nope. Sorry, Texas, don't miss you bad enough.
That sounds like when I left Alabama.
But Sweet Home Alabama. Everybody loves that song, right? I'm sorry.
My friends from Japan really like that song.
We do know one person that likes Alabama, and he's not from there.
He's also not, and nor will he ever be present on this stream.
Who are we talking about?
Just this kid that I used to know. Well, this guy, whatever. I don't know how old he is anymore.
Oh wait,
yeah, we mentioned it in a past stream.
Yeah, my mom's boyfriend's from Alabama. You can tell.
I had a sergeant
he's a
from
tiny
Alabama.
bit racist, and that sucks. Anyway.
I had a sergeant from Alabama. He wasn't too bad though.
Yeah, if you're from Alabama, like the first two words you ever said was "Roll Tide," right?
Actually,
Crimson Tide.
No, they haven't. They don't have the educational or academic abilities to ever attend college. So
just my mother's boyfriend never stops freaking saying that. Roll Tide. I'm like, it's football. Is it that important?
Well, isn't it called Crimson Tide?
Yeah, that's the name of the team, but they always say Roll Tide as their. He loves the Crimson Tide and he loves the Washington Redskins. My mother loves the Dallas Cowboys. I'm surprised they haven't killed each other yet.
Football serious business.
For them it is serious. They put money on it.
They actually do hate each other. It's like a serious rivalry for people that care here.
I guess I don't even
where
know.
You have some who are Redskins fans and some who are Cowgirls fans, and there's just nonstop competition. It's like none of you are on the field playing. And in the case of the Cowgirls, that might actually help if you did get on the field and actually play. But no, they get really obsessed about it. In fact,
I'll at least be honest. The Cowboys used to be good, but unfortunately, the early '90s are long since over.
Yeah, in the early '90s they were, but
when I was growing up, they were damn good. And then it's like whatever. Now my mom's like, "Oh, you got to stick with your team." And I'm like, "No, I don't. I don't care about football anymore."
I never did, and then plus, me, I was a Yankee, so my opinion didn't matter at all. I was one of those dirty, I forget, carpetbaggers.
When I was a kid, yeah, I didn't like football. I had my Madden 94, which means I played every Madden game that's ever existed.
I used to watch basketball a lot when I was a kid.
I only did because my brother did, and that was the only time I had New York pride, and then they lost to Houston, which, since nobody knows except for Scratch Point, if you want to talk about places I hate, you really only need to talk about Houston. And so the fact that somebody loses at anything to Houston, the only thing that's acceptable to lose to Houston to is a failure contest.
Yeah.
Anything else, if you lose to Houston, you should just stop living right then and there.
Also, basketball, the only basketball I ever watched was Space Jam. Wait, does that count?
It does for me.
Michael Jordan, that's about all the basketball I know. That, and of course, Shaquille O'Neal, because Shaq Fu, right?
That's why I changed my name to Basketball Jones.
Based on the real-life adventures of Dennis Rodman. Oh yeah, and of course Dennis Rodman, because Men in Black. Dennis Rodman's an alien? Not much of a disguise.
He actually played for a brief period. He played for the San Antonio Spurs. But I remembered him before that, but I just remember when he was on that team, I think he used to have a shirt that said, "I'm not gay, my boyfriend is."
Okay.
I'm not gay. I don't get any of that gay shit. I'm a lesbian.
Well put.
I'm sure we can find something on the WNBA where we can turn that all around.
Where's the WNFL, am I right? Hashtag sports sexism. Oh god.
Every time I see scum, it makes me think of that enemy from the original Final Fantasy.
Oh, the green slime-like creature.
Yeah, like they had enemies called Creep, and well, of course, the Grimps and the Grogers.
I always
Damn
said
Grimps. I know, it just sounds so good. It's like, I don't care what they intended, it's Grimps now.
How the Grimp stole Christmas.
Yeah, I still,
We're a
need to write,
sitcom that live with
I still need to write that book. How the Grimp stole Christmas.
very poorly. Annoying people, that's probably the only... I got a new one, Syscum. Oh no.
That would go in I don't know what's a Tumblr word that has either Final or fantasy in it.
Although when we say scum, I instead think of Maniac Mansion for some reason.
Scum VM.
Yeah,
That
I
was
think that's
kinda-
what it
that
was.
was the
Yeah, because it was in the
engine.
credits.
You can use like Scum VM to play the games nowadays.
Yeah. Then I remember because Maniac Mansion has so much damn censorship going in to go to the NES version. That's one of the things they object to. I'm thinking, why? It's just an acronym. They're gonna think the NES is scum when you put this in. Are you shitting me? Really?
Yeah.
We have a game where you by accident let these kids microwave a hamster, and you care about scum NES?
Hey, you know, we have to show that we have standards somewhere.
Standards. You keep using that word. I don't think it means what you think it does.
I don't know why this guy right here is making me think of Invader Zim.
It's making me think of Foster Home for Imaginary Friends. I don't know why.
Who?
This thing we're looking at right now.
Oh,
I don't know why.
It
It's
is
just-
the obvious symbolism for Syscum. That's why it's named thus.
a phallic creature with big ol' eyes going, what?
What?
Oh man, I'm so drunk. You had a water. I'm so drunk.
Okay. I'm putting it into the stream chat. It's Scum.
Scum.
The original Scum.
Ah, yes,
You might even say
yes.
true Scum.
It looks to me like a mushroom with rusticles on it or something. What the hell?
Did you say rusticles or breasticles?
Rusticles, thank you, rusticles. I know the wrong color, but I mean.
I thought I heard that too.
I'm sorry. Hey, I'm not that bad. Jeez. What kind of typical male do you think I am? Just because I'm white doesn't mean I'm cis scum, right? It's because I'm green, isn't it?
It all depends on how you
Cis
identify.
I am disappointed that this website refers to them as Gray Imp instead of Grimp.
Yeah, so you know what else upsets me? It's that they have the cat enemy that's called Man Cat.
Gray
Well-
Imp? I really would have thought it was Great Imp. I really would have.
Well, that and they had the sexualized Medusa.
Oh, now if my copy of the game doesn't have a censored siren, I don't want to play. But better be covering up, or else.
I can't remember all the names for it. Was Frost? Was it Frost Gator or Frost G or something?
I believe it was Frost Gator.
I remember the sandworm was Sand W. That one I remember.
Yep.
Because I made some stupid Flash cartoon which shows how old I am, back when Newgrounds was a thing, and my friends in school used to think the fact that every keyword in that game was all in caps, and so there was a scene I had where Garland was fighting a sandworm, and they were talking to each other, and then like his one-liner was supposed to be "Go to hell," but hell was in all caps to let you know it was a keyword. To the Sand W, and then he goes and he like, but that was the other thing. He keeps calling him Sand, like he calls himself Sand W, not Sandworm, just Sand W every time. So they keep having this conversation, and they call each other Sand W every time. I was a special kid. When
To think if Mega Man had been an RPG, then we'd never call him Lloyd, we'd just call him Dr. W.
I was that was probably the only reason I wanted to get a PhD is so that I could actually, since my last name starts with a W, I could actually put the Dr. W sign somewhere in my house or my office.
Okay, that would
before
be pretty awesome. I gotta admit, that would be pretty awesome. I always liked the Dr. Wiley logo.
But I need to find something that doesn't require any effort. So I'll probably, if I were to get a PhD, probably be in like gender studies or something like that.
So obviously, you gotta do anyone for a Tumblr. Those are the easiest doctors to get.
Or I can get a PhD in Gamergate.
Wait. Culture appropriation. Wait, wouldn't that include the gamer culture?
No, because that's a culture made by the white man. So
That-
white
so-
people have no culture.
The cis white
Apparently
scum, right?
cultural appropriation includes even things like Steven Universe, so...
Culture appropriation.
Does cultural appropriation include rape culture?
As the way you said it made me think of PBS. Cultural appropriation brought to you by a grant from the government. And viewers like you. Thank you. Mr. Rogers spinning in his grave right now, poor bastard.
You know what? I think I found a good way to work in cultural appropriation. If I ever get fired from a job for not fitting in with the company culture, I'll just tell them I couldn't commit cultural appropriation.
Yeah, they'll get you a job back fast. I don't want to go to court over it.
Take that, startups. But that's assuming they would hire me, which they don't hire black people at startups. At least not in the Bay Area.
Maybe if you dye your hair a funny color
Starting a flashback.
and say you're passionate about social justice.
Give me flashbacks. Fresh Prince of Bel Air. This is a black thing, isn't it?
Well, I also have to be passionate about Node.js. So maybe I should make a quote unquote game using Node.js where all you do is you click on links and the story it ends up being the same story no matter what selection you choose, and it doesn't even do a good job of explaining what it's supposed to explain, and I'm talking about Depression Quest.
Guys, you're missing the most important part of the drawing stream, the eyes of oppression!
Well, isn't that the same Eye of Oppression from Final Fantasy?
Oh, the beholders.
No, we can't say that. That's copyright infringement. Just Eye.
They're everywhere because women are oppressed everywhere they go.
Every male gaze is on them, right?
I still want to do the Let's Play of Depression Quest where I talk about how glad I am that I finally have a PC strong enough to run it.
Oh man,
your computer was just so bad it was depressing, so it couldn't run.
his computer couldn't run Adobe.
Man, I'm so glad I upgraded from Windows 3.1.
Wait, Adobe, isn't that an Indian thing? That's also cultural appropriation.
No more AOL 95 for me.
with its free trial disc and everything. God, does anybody remember those? Those were so bad.
I got my 40 hours.
They were good at the time.
An art project in school where I took the AOL discs that my dad had got and I made a giant fish picture on the wall with it. So, like,
Well, you got to do something with them.
It wasn't a Jesus fish, though, right?
No.
Okay, good, okay. But at least it's a better use for them than making the trial, so if nothing else, you did better work than AOL ever did with them.
I was going to say, that's probably the best use those discs have ever been put to.
10 out of 10, I can...
I actually remember when they used to send AOL trial floppy disks.
Wait, the what? Floppy?
Wow.
Oh, wow.
You gotta be kidding me, I've never seen CDs. Floppy disks.
I have a weird, affection for floppy disks.
I kind of miss floppy disks. They were cool at the
Floppy
time.
disks?
Wait, what?
That got everyone's attention. Fetish.
I heard something weird for floppy disks. I didn't know what you said.
I'm pretty sure
I
you said
have
affection.
a weird nostalgic thing.
Oh, nostalgia. Okay.
Affection for them, yeah.
I don't know.
Get your
I'm
mind
like,
out of the gutter, you white.
I'm
Get your
half
mind out of the gutter,
asleep.
XP. But no, I
I'm
remember
half
floppy
asleep.
disks being kind of cool. I kind of missed those myself. They were a sign of the times, but they were kind of nice. What's all these discs? Am I right?
Now, see, though, with this picture, I'm trying to add a little bit of equality. So this one eye is focused entirely on this penis thing's balls. So it's one eye.
It's the you
So
had to
it's
make
one
sure there
out
were,
of the hundreds of millions that all look at the women. One's looking at the ball.
you
Well,
needed to have
we
almost
finally turned
representation.
finally turned the male gaze.
Aren't those eyes from A Link to the Past?
Oh wow. Oh god, the ones on the walls that would zap you if you went by them, or
Yeah,
worse, the ones in Mario 64 where you had to go real fast around and make him leave you alone.
And then you get the blue coin.
Yeah, unless you were playing Kaizo Mario 64, in which case, I can't believe that was a thing. I cannot believe that.
There's only one Mario game I ever play,
Uh-huh.
and it's Mario is Missing.
Oh God.
Really, I like to play Mario Kart myself. The eyeballs licking the.
Okay, now you're just going Arc-a-Lad. That's the only eyeball that ever licks anything. Spoilers, that's the last boss.
Man, for a minute we actually had it on our hands, and she took it back. Well,
You're supposed to say spoilers before you spoil it.
spoilers, but
Spoilers, I'm awesome.
Oh, by the
spoilers,
way,
Aerith dies.
I hope there's a Chinese girl playing Final Fantasy XIV in this stream so that I can vaguely
Make references to sex.
Yes, and vaguely hit on her and show how socially awkward I am because
Or at least that Final Fantasy VII bootleg on the NES, because that was Chinese, I believe.
oh that's what I was going to say about floppy disks. I was going to say I remember once I put I could fit a grand total of 2 NES ROMs on, or I'm sorry, 2 officially licensed NES games on my floppy disk.
Yonder chat or Yandere or however the hell you're supposed to pronounce it.
I think it's yandere, something like that. I don't know.
Hey, all respect to the Japanese, I don't have a freak. It might as well be Harry Potter. Might as well be Harry
Leviosa, not Leviosa.
What's the difference? Jam it, Hermione. Stop that. No. Oh, jeez.
Unfortunately, we don't have.
Oh yeah. I'm sorry. Don't say the word mudblood either, because that's like racist or whatever they'd call it against Muggles. That's an offensive term. Don't say it.
So what should I not say again so I can say it?
Mudblood. I think that was a thing in the Harry Potter books.
Mudblood, is that like
for those who
or
know
something?
magic, but they're not pure-blooded or something, they're like part Muggle or something, and so that's an insult to them.
Oh, I thought that was like
Pure or
I
some
thought they
shit.
were having a digestion problem or something.
I'll be right back. We can get something to drink.
All right. She actually has an official website now. I know this.
She also has an official drink, J.K. Rowling Rock.
It's in the chat. This was the streamer, a friend of mine that we were referring to, but I guess I didn't realize.
She's the original, so
Yeah,
she came before you had that name on Beyond.
Well, that's probably true, since she was born before I was playing DWO.
And she says she's been playing video games for over 20 years, and so I guess she knows all the ins and outs of them.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I think you've been lying because girl gamers don't exist.
Right.
Way to go, Internet.
Aw.
So
Stupid Internet thing. It's just like,
So whenever I look at any pictures of my wife, there's just a big X next to me.
No, she's the blank face with a question mark on it, the anonymous face.
Like, you're not married. I've actually had somebody tell me that before. I've had somebody tell me I'm not black, too. Like, you're just a white guy that got burnt in a fire. Okay.
Wow.
They know because I'm black, so we lower the standards. No hablo inglés, so we all become Spaniards. Toki Doki? Okay, that when you finally got one, I have no idea which.
Sometimes. Oh, Scratch Point, or I guess I can call you by your real name. Have you ever seen these text stops?
What are that? Oh, the text stops, like
Yeah,
when you're actually driving, and then yeah, they have quite a few of them.
What is it?
So in New York, when you are driving, at least on an interstate, they have like you know how they usually have like rest stops in most states. Well, they have text stops in New York where you can stop and text people on the road.
Well, as long as it
Because they
discourages
want,
texting and
they
driving,
wanted
I
to
guess.
discourage texting and driving, but
I
it does seem silly because I mean, if you think about it, come on, you could be smart enough to realize, oh, when I stop at this rest stop, I can also text
Yeah,
that
exactly.
person.
That's what I'm saying. Why don't we just use rest stops
Like,
for the
why
cut
make
off their
the
third
distinction?
Yes,
What's
that's
the
a way to pay them.
Faith in human. Uh-oh.
But we actually took a picture of it when we were there, or we tried to get a picture of one because they also threaten you like if you get more than 3 texting tickets, you lose your license.
Now this hangout is officially cool because this. Well done, just well done. No, all we need is that stupid YouTube video float out. You know what the fuck? Boom. That's what we need next. Your faith humanity exploded. Mine just kind of petered out in a sad, sad whimper.
We are about to have somebody else join us here as soon as I send him the link.
Well, here's something else that only you and I probably know about. A road sign that says emergency snow route.
Huh.
Yeah.
It doesn't make sense, but.
That was actually in the that picture was from the town I was born in, which I can't say because I can't dox myself.
I don't know what that means, but I'll at least say where I was born and raised. Don't go to Odessa, Texas. It's boring. Okay, I'm good.
Well,
Kermit,
I already so that wasn't really news for me. Now, what is news is that you can't make a U-turn in downtown city I was born in, and the speed limit sign is 15 miles per hour. And they had all these delis and grocery stores and pizza joints don't open on the weekend. I understand that.
We had
Maybe-
pawn shops. That was about it. And car dealerships. That's about it.
Well, you know, New Yorkers are just more cultured. No, that's not true. I don't know what's going on here because that picture I'm looking at also has lots of graffiti on some of the signposts. So we're certainly not more cultured.
Yeah.
Oh, we have a new visitor.
Looked like you were putting angry faces on a pickle for a minute there.
Hey, how's it going?
Okay.
So
Let's
does
see.
anybody has anybody ever played Phantasy Star Online?
Yes.
Okay.
I
'Cause-
played the shit out of that.
Well, apparently, Phantasy Star Online 2 is available in the U.S. and Australia now.
It's no, they dropped the IP ban on it.
IP ban?
They had like this thing where I guess they were getting DDoS'd from computers all over the world except for Japan, so they basically blocked out everywhere except for Japan.
Oh, okay.
So as soon as I heard that, I started re-downloading it.
Oh well.
Is it free or?
Yeah, although I guess some people say it's pay to win. I don't know.
Oh, gotcha.
I can't really tell because I haven't ever tried putting in the English patch. I just go with general knowledge of the franchise.
Gotcha.
The names keep putting on these layers. It was,
This is generally. I'm not just like doing this because I'm on here. This is generally how I do them.
hey, it's funny to me, so I'm entertained. I was late, but I'm glad I made it. I wouldn't want to miss this.
That's how I used to name all of my officially licensed digital music files back when MP3s didn't exist and there were MP2s.
Oh man.
I don't know if anybody actually knows
I
that there was an
vaguely
MP2.
recall I once had an MP2s kind of, but I've never seen MP1s at least. Were those ever a thing?
Yeah, they were MPEGs.
Oh,
No, that was when you had a guy come over to your house and just play it for you on the accordion.
you hired Steve Urkel or Weird Al, either way.
Like I remember back in those days, you could download you can legally acquire a PC version of Sonic the Hedgehog 3.
Oh wait, Steve Urkel
I had
played the
And it
accordion
came with a
before Weird Al.
screensaver.
Weird Al's racist.
And they also had Sonic R and a few other Sonic things.
I'm trying to remember everything you could download back in the mid '90s.
A lot of things, of course, as long as you didn't run to another. I know some of those people, viruses and shit, but yeah, just find anything, man.
Yeah, but viruses weren't that big of a thing back then.
Okay, you did say that. I guess because I got started like the very beginning of 2000, so I guess there's a small difference, but.
Well, me being an oppressed black male, coming from a family that works at large technology companies, we had it early.
What is this? I don't even. Good answer. Just good answer.
We had them for business purposes.
Yeah, you were totally downloading all those MP3s legally for business purposes. Absolutely.
Yeah, it was for my research of Final Fantasy music that I'm still researching.
You were doing a report on influential musicians and music writers. Uematsu, right?
Yeah, and Yasunori Mitsuda. Yeah, so I had some Chrono Trigger because I was like, oh, I don't know if I want to play that game, but the music's okay. And then eventually I bought the game, and I was like, oh, this is good.
Man,
I should actually purchase this game.
I was not so lucky on the front. I never even heard of Chrono Trigger until the days of the internet. I had at least seen Secret of Mana, but unfortunately Blockbuster sold it before I got a chance to buy it, so while I did get to rent it, I never got to finish it. Very sad.
I was a frequent renter of that game, but I owned Secret of Evermore because I was like, oh, well, Squaresoft has a good track record. And they did, but back in those days, everybody's like, well, Secret of Evermore is dumb because it's supposed to be the sequel to Secret of Mana, and it's not anything like it.
Not so. Sheesh.
I had a friend with
never
Secret
saw
of
Final
Mana.
Fantasy.
I didn't really get to play it, though.
Couldn't believe that. I saw Secret of Mana, but I never saw a Final Fantasy game at the Blockbuster I always went to, so I never got into Final Fantasy until 7.
They always had Final Fantasy IV, so that was the one that I had rented the most. So it's no surprise that it's the one that I probably like the most of all of them.
Am I the only Genesis person here?
No, I did.
On Genesis.
I had both actually.
I liked the Genesis, but we were not a family that could afford 2 consoles, so
Yeah.
I had a SNES. And not to mention we were always a generation behind in gaming too, so that really made it difficult.
I went from NES to PlayStation, so
I came from a family that told me if you want video games, you have to go and work and get them yourself. So we learned how to make money as kids.
You're the only kindergartner with 2 jobs, right?
Yeah.
Only one knew how to downshift a big rig.
Actually, I think the first time I had 2 jobs, I was, 16, I think? I might have been 17. There was one point, I think, where I had 3. I don't want to do that ever again.
I must be a privileged white male. I never had more than 1 job at once. I'm so sorry.
Me neither. But I don't have a job now, so...
I don't either, so don't. You're not alone there.
Oh, is that you?
Let's not talk about jobs. That's just too depressing.
Well,
let's talk about gender and cultural appropriation, right? Yeah, gender appropriation. That's next, right? We're gonna appropriate a whole gender.
I feel so left out. I guess I can't commiserate about work at all. That's a frame of reference.
Boring, serious people, and we're not boring, serious people.
I am when I'm at work, though. Unless I make, King of the Hill references or something.
Dang it, Bobby. See, I'm Texan. I cannot do a Hank Hill accent. I tried. I can't get close.
That's pretty funny.
Dang it, Bobby. That's just asinine and, propane and propane accessories. Just...
Sometimes I can do it, but I'm not going to do it today.
At least there's Boggle. Although in high school I did do a good Chewbacca. That's a really sad thing to say, but I swear I could. I don't know why, but that was the thing.
I used to be able to do a decent Yoshi, but I don't think I can do it anymore.
Nah, I can't even try, but Yoshi still sounds awesome, though.
I can, even though my voice is not supposed to get that high. But
I don't know if I'm the only one, but I kind of miss the days before the Mario cast had voice actors.
Well, it's just sound effects. It's not all bad. You're like,
I mean,
maybe
I like
groans, but
I liked the cartoon depiction of them, even though that technically could be seen as a stereotype as well. But
It's problematic.
I thought that.
it's only problematic if you like Luigi, because Mama Luigi. that is disrespectful to transgenders.
We don't have any transgenders on the stream, do we?
I'm just. That's Mama Luigi to you, Mario.
How dare you?
It just
I'm a
depends
proud,
on
independent
how much
white
money
woman.
I can possibly get out of saying I am.
Good answer.
Do,
Good answer.
do you want to win an ESPY?
I don't even know what that is.
I don't think I want to know what that is.
Well, I guess there are no ESPN fans here.
Yeah, I saw that. A lot of people got butthurt.
I think no, I remember. Okay.
Caitlyn Jenner got an ESPY. An ESPY award.
Oh yeah, I did hear about that.
And Miss Piggy got a feminist award.
Is this what the
Well, I mean,
Orioles
it's kind
thing
of,
that's going on that I'm hearing about?
it is kind of weird that somebody's getting an ESPY when they haven't done anything athletic since the 80s.
Okay, well.
I mean, yes, I know the reason why she got one, but I mean,
Oh god, thanks for our earlier conversation. I briefly misread that is used previously to create clopping mask. Oh, and then don't look at my tits. Thanks. That just makes it work. Thanks, internet. Oh. It's terrible.
no male gays allowed.
No.
Which
If you're male and straight, then stay the fuck home. Bitch.
that's what I was about to say. I was about to say that's offensive to males that are not gazing at women.
I need to use my Intuos more. It's kind of criminal how I don't really touch it that often.
Okay.
No, I got...
Without context, that can sound a little awkward. Just gonna put that on the table.
I mean, I'm talking about tablets.
No, I understand. Just.
Watching this.
It could benefit from a little bit of clarity.
Yeah,
Yeah. We are in a Google Hangout, so.
Yeah, I don't know. It's kind of a thing about me. I take a left. I have a habit of just taking right-angle turns in my thought patterns.
Well, personally, I'm offended by right angles. I'm anti 90 degrees.
Yeah, I don't like angles. I'm a straight man. I like curves, right?
Unless those curves involve like half of a baby's head, let's keep the curves out of here.
I
Give me something wrong.
45-degree angles trigger me.
What's a summoner anyway?
Do you know who Ritlock
Well,
Brimstone is?
I do remember from Metal Gear 2 Solid Snake for the MSX. Apparently, the guards were triggered by 45 angles too, because that's one of the features of the game is that they could now detect you at a 45-degree angle.
They've been chrono triggered. Well, I'm calling the new squad.
Well, it was you that made the Chrono Crossed joke, wasn't it?
Yes, because I'm feeling chrono cross about this. And then, guys, we need to take a chrono break.
That's better than bio break, which for those that don't know, that's work speak for I need to go to the restroom.
Oh my god.
Now we have a starry-eyed fanboy. Oh, I'm sorry, I'm assuming gender. I shouldn't.
How dare you?
I know, I'm terrible. I need to be banned from the internet.
Yeah.
This user has been banned from the internet. Reason, LOL.
man arrested for everything. Officer, what did he do? He did everything, man.
I was putting together a presentation for work, and I think the running joke was going to be that, well, it's not a joke, it's the truth, but the running gag was that I was perfect and better than everybody at everything. So I think one of my slides was just a slide that says, here's a list of everything I'm good at, and then it just has everything.
Here a list of my flaws, NA.
Here are a list of my flaws.
it cuts to an image. Wow, look at all this nothing. These empty store shelves.
Is this CS5?
I don't even remember.
Oh.
But it is a legal version.
Really,
One
I
of your
could
filters is called fuckface. Scum.
really I could have swore this was
Yes,
MS
baby.
Paint she was drawing in.
No, this is Corel Draw.
I actually had this one guy when I was in high school who did like this fully gradiented picture, pixel by pixel in MS Paint.
I've done that before, but I am no longer autistic enough to do that.
Well,
No,
I was
I
like,
think
in-
you
I was
mean
like
I
in
think
art
you meant to
school.
say artist.
Yeah.
Okay, who's in the applause? What was that for? What the hell happened?
My bad. I was
Well
messing with
timed,
the effects.
We had
Well
a
timed, but
we
I
had
missed.
a drag queen with a beard who we called Jesus.
Okay, well that's one take on the Bible. And now I've formed an image of a just a full on Broadway production of the Bible in such a style. It's like whoa.
What was that? What was that movie that was like, or it was a player movie that was supposed to offend everybody? It was like Hamlet 2 or something.
I am not familiar with that.
I have not heard.
It's like from forever ago, like when I was still, it's like from a decade ago.
I don't know, but one of my goals is to write something that offends everybody. Usually, anytime I do anything, there's at least one person that gets offended.
Well, if you've been over, at least then you can't be accused of being racist, sexist, whatever, because you're just equal opportunity, asshole. And it's much better that way. At least it is like, at least it's fair assholery. Better than the usual.
Well, that reminds me of that study they had going around, talking about Halo 3 players.
More like Galo 3 players, am I right, guys?
Oh God, Chad.
Yeah.
Fucking
Yeah,
Chad.
well, like
Ward.
My-
Mad Cat did a takedown on it just recently.
You,
Am I right, my fellow LGBT friends?
you gave the we have devil may run up on your ass. We have no devil may cry. Let that pussy cry on the Wii. Chad Warden. I didn't care if it was an act. It was so stupid. It was funny to me anyway.
Yeah, my phone died quick.
Well, I guess we're holding a funeral for it. No, I'm just flashing back to YouTube videos. Like, oh God, some people taking their Pokemon a little too seriously.
Yeah.
Yeah, we have Nuzlocke runs, which is another thing. Now we have people being characters in their own Nuzlocke runs on YouTube.
You want to see taking things too
I'm
seriously?
still waiting for someone to do like a funeral for their Nuzlocke. And I was like, oh, my Pokemon died. Let's have a video of a funeral of this dead Pokemon, and just so I can just facepalm.
I wouldn't.
Did
I
you
wouldn't
ever
be
see that
surprised if
Jello
Jared did
apocalypse?
that.
I seem to recall a eulogy for a Super Nintendo Entertainment System from back in the day.
Yeah, that was a great eulogy. Nintendo before that caused women to lose their virginity, but that was a special Super Nintendo. We had a great history together. But
What kind of crush is that?
when you live in New Orleans, you just can't survive it long enough. And
Did you guys ever see the Jello apocalypse? This is Welcome to Tumblr.
Yeah. I actually wrote up my own thing that I was going to call. Oh, did you link it?
This was before I was actually aware of like the social justice end of Tumblr. But even then, I knew it was kind of accurate.
You know, in the simpler days of the internet, before Tumblr was a thing.
well, I mean, it was even true back in the live journal
Give me
days.
some food now, so I'm just gonna leave this right here.
That is a great image for the Google. That better be the thumbnail if this goes on YouTube as an
It needs to
upload.
be.
It needs to be the thumbnail. Just gotta blur out all the personally identifying information.
It should be my face. My beautiful
This is-
face.
This is on Google, so all information is identifying.
This
Yeah.
your voice is personally identifying, even if you distort it with like one of those filters.
Like Satan does.
I there's this one voice chat in my head where you could distort your voice and even do like a saw thing.
So the Game Facts poll of the day is: how long have you had your oldest currently active email address? Oh boy, I
Oh
don't
God.
even know.
Well,
Uh,
the one that I got locked out of, I had since 2006.
I closed my longest running one like a year or two ago.
I've only ever had one, so it's been active like 15 years.
I don't even
My,
know how old mine is. I was in high school or junior high when I made it.
I mean, unless
my,
for some reason you really want to count a shared email I had with my parents way back in the day, but I don't, so. Or let me bring up
mine.
theirs.
I think the longest one is 7 to 10 years, but there are actually people that have the one that I would select, which is more than 15 years. Longest running one I had, I either made in '96 or '97.
Oh wow.
Let me guess, at AOL.com, right? Use one of them
Hotmail,
trial
of course.
discs.
I
Oh,
think
yeah,
that'd be
yeah, my Hotmail, so.
I didn't have a phone line back then to have AOL, so
I remember when DSL first came out, and it was supposed to be the fastest internet you can get, and now it's like super slow. Like if you had DSL now, you're in pain.
DSL, that's anything that involves phone cords, that's not dial-up, right?
No, dial-up's phone course. DSL was the first internet thing that did not go through the phone.
Well,
So
right,
with
but they certainly
DSL was
still
like,
look like phone cords to me. At least so what my roommate has that I'm running off of, so.
well, it technically uses phone course, but it's its own dedicated line. It's not
Well, right, yeah, that's
also
what I
for
mean,
phone.
yeah, because, yeah, it's a sub through
Because
AT&T.
it was like the first time that you can actually have one phone line and be on the internet and like use your phone at the same time.
Yeah. Of course, now most people, a lot of people probably have it as a package thing. So if their internet goes, their phone probably went with it because it's all going at once. So it still doesn't work out sometimes. When service breaks down, they all go down. Thanks AT&T.
I,
Comcast.
that's
I'm pissed
actually
off at
that's
Comcast.
actually the longest running boycott I think I've had. It will be 10 years next year that I've boycotted
AT&T.
AT&T. Yep.
Well, it's a good thing they weren't the only ones that still have iPhones now.
Yeah, considering the Circuit City thing, I'm surprised AT&T hasn't gone down in flames too.
Well, AT&T is huge. AT&T is like one of the biggest companies in the U.S.
I don't have to deal with that stuff.
I think AT&T would be one of those companies that would get bailout if they were going that bad, because they are a cell phone company, but they're also internet provider. They're also cable and telephone provider. Like they got their hands in a lot of pots. I
Aren't
don't
they
think
the
they let
ones that
And
got
people.
pies.
booed when they were announced for the Vita or something?
Yeah,
What?
yeah, when the Vita was going to have them as the sole mobile provider, everybody booed at that presentation.
I forget. Was that the year with the giant enemy crab, or was that an earlier year?
Well, it was 2011, I think. So
It
Was
all
I
just
the
blur
only
together.
person? Am I the only person that seems upset that the Fallout Shelters, the app for Fallout for the phones, they said was supposed to be out right after the presentation, but then like last minute they said nope, not for Android. Anybody else like get
Ouch.
pissed off with that, or
Yeah,
was it just me?
that sounds kind of sucky.
I'm kind of stuck with my iPhone right now, so
Well, it kind of pissed me off because I was like, yeah, I'm gonna download this right away, and I was like, because I'm a huge Fallout fan, so I was like, yeah, I'm definitely gonna get that shit. And then they're like, as soon as this presentation's over, it's gonna be live. And then I go like check it out, and I'm like, I can't find it on the Google Marketplace. And then find out a couple days later that it's only out on iPhones, in the Apple Store.
Imagine they got some fallout for that one. Yeesh.
Well, nobody said anything about it. I was like, what the fuck? Android people not care? And then they're like, well, it'll come up in like 2 or 3 months. I was like, well, that's a blatant lie then. Because
Yeah.
he said it'll be out,
It'd
but
be
it's not
immediate.
out.
Yeah.
No.
And speaking of AT&T, aren't they like so big they try to have a merger and the government said it was like no. We don't want anything like a monopoly going here.
No, the last people that tried to merger and they weren't told to stop, but they stopped was Twitch and YouTube, I think.
Okay, cause it seems like it's something about AT&T and T-Mobile or something, and they're trying to. The government's like, no.
No, they don't
No,
need to
that was
monopolize.
AT&T and T-Mobile, I think.
They don't need to
Yeah.
monopolize though. They all like work with each other. They increase their rates together. No, they literally do that. They collude with each other. Like Time Warner and Comcast, they collude with each other, and they've had they even had interviews where the owner of Time Warner even admitted to it. Like not even admit to it, he just said it like out of the blue. Yeah, we collude with each other. Like no big deal. I'm like, dude, are you serious? Like you're saying I'm corrupt.
Like it's a big secret anyway, but corporations.
And on that note, I need to head to bed so I can pay some bills. Since I'm the only one that actually has to work, because all these privileged white people.
I know this is terrible. This is the worst Google Hangout ever, and the Tumblrites are gonna use it against us white people. Oh no.
I already worked today.
I'm
Well,
off
there
till
we-
Tuesday.
There, we got one person at work.
I am white. I am male. I'm oppressed.
But no, I do need to go so I can be productive and actually get up early.
Alrighty.
All right, I'll see you guys later.
See you later.
We'll miss your entertaining topics of conversation.
I'll
sir.
miss you.
Yeah, you won't, but thanks for lying.
You always you make all these lies. Why do you think I watch those streams on YouTube? Because you. You think I watch for Scratch Point? Psh, no, I'm kidding.
Yeah, seriously. What do I provide?
Who watches the news that's asleep all the time? Psh.
My girlfriend wants to Skype soon.
I'll Skype. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh, God. Speaking of Jeff,
Good lord, man.
Just have to come in to hang out.
It might be oppressive. I mean,
Google letting it all hang out, right?
You know how you say things and you think they're gonna be funny, then halfway through you're like, maybe
Yeah,
that's
yeah, it sounded funny in my head, and then I said it. Well, faith in humanity exploded again. Seems about right. Who knew it could explode twice?
I thought that was faith in humanity.
Oh, that's not what I said. I'm sorry. I mean, that's what I meant. Like, that's what the thing said. So
You know when I lost faith in humanity?
The day the music died.
the day you were
Yeah.
born. I'm sorry.
When I saw trigger warning pomegranates.
Oh, I saw that where they were saying that it looked like a heart, and it was
Yeah.
triggering.
Tell me it's gonna be when video killed the radio star. Tell me that's what you're spelling out.
Then and then the thing I wanted to draw, which I didn't actually get to draw. I wanted to draw.
I'm so sorry.
I wanted
was
to
unexpected.
I didn't know the song.
Deadpool
I'm sorry. I just
fighting Lobo in space.
My
on
bad. It's
T-Rexes.
the Texans' fault. My bad.
Oh man.
I'm watching a sloth take a bath.
and I'm ruining people's punchlines. I need to be kicked out of the hangout. I'm no longer welcome.
Oh, we could just mute you.
That's oppressing the white male that actually is not straight. Give that rear the boot.
Wait, you said you were watching a sloth take a bath?
Yeah.
Kicked.
Well, this is the only sloth I watch.
Sloth.
Oh.
Oh, I
Yes.
gotta see this. I gotta see.
This is awesome.
It's just one of those things that I laugh at every time, even though I should.
I can fly.
Don't they have like some moss growing on them?
Yeah. Fuck you, copyright. This song fits perfectly here. I'm favored in that. That was funny. I'm curious. That was funny right there.
See if I can post.
My goodness.
That's
Oh,
funny,
man.
but okay. Popular foods prior to selective breeding by human: corn, tiny. Oh man, carrots.
Looks like Skeptors have been having some fun.
Ah, dude, strawberries used to look disgusting.
Wait, what are we looking at?
What do you think? Someone's about to get their ass kicked. Their foot gonna break off in their anus.
I was looking at foods and animals that like before and after they were prior to selective breeding by humans.
Foods
Which
and animals
is-
sound like a Jeopardy category.
Yeah.
It was like they chose corn, and there's like these 4 or 5 like little corn kernels on there, and then it shows like the whole ear of corn. It shows carrots, and they look deformed and weird.
This is kind of random, but I always thought that it was weird that we feed fish corn kernels. It's like that's a food that they would never have access
Yeah,
to.
seriously. How does it even? Who figured out that that's a thing fish will eat?
Or worms. How do fish like get a taste for worms?
Okay, when you were starting
Is
to
this
that, I
one of
was,
those,
I
it
was
can
seriously
be
convinced at first that you were drawing an ass about to sit on a toilet. I'm so sorry. It's really
Actually,
wrong.
what I was trying to do was make it look like I was drawing boobs at first, and then.
And then it turned into a Tumblrite.
Man, monkeys do run the internet. Jeez, YouTube may have actually not been lying to us.
I mean,
The style of it makes it look like it's Oppressio, like it's some kind of Yu-Gi-Oh parody. Oppressio.
Did you guys know Vin Diesel
Harry Potter.
is a
It's like
D&D
magic.
nerd?
I had
I think I heard that.
Oppressio.
No idea.
Yeah, he used to play
he
D&D.
probably goes LARPing.
Oh man, he doesn't even have to dress up.
Exactly.
Oppressio is all they used to.
It's been like, I'm a 36th level warrior prepared to be thrown through a wall.
I'm a halfling rogue.
Behold her sentient nebulae. Social justice weekend keyboard warrior.
Oh, actually, I got something for you guys. I love this comic. Let's see if I can find it. Elephant Centaur.
One comic that I wanted to find, but I couldn't, was it's got this. I don't know what the original comic is called, but it's got this little kid, and the grandma says something to him, and he's like, "I'm a trans black lesbian, and if you don't stop, you're oppressing me," or something, and then he just like slam dunks a basketball randomly.
Okay. Trying out for Shazam or something? Or whatever it was called. Shazam, Kazam, whatever. Damn you, Shaquille O'Neal. Why didn't you damn movie? And again, thanks to Textile, I thought at first it said Beebs, and I'm like, is that a slang I haven't run into for those?
Actually, I recommend this comic. It's awesome.
Although I shouldn't talk about how people write or even with a mouse, because my handwriting is horrible.
Oh, I've seen this before. Actually, oddly enough, for some reason, Kotaku tends to post when they do like a Sunday comics roundup. They tend to post links to that.
Oh, actually, what I found funny was when I saw Niche Gamer giving an interview to another comic I watched called Nerf Now.
Hmm.
I don't know. The guy has like he likes to do somewhat fan service stuff, but he's got a very minimalist style, and he is kind of friends with Zone Tan.
I swear, the beginning of some of these drawings are like Rorschach asks, what do you see in this picture? What's your interpretation? Like,
I'm kind of scared to know.
Those are supposed to be breasts? I thought that was an ass, but it's not on a toilet. Clearly we know what's on his mind. Yikes.
Well, it's a man's mind, so what else could be on it?
Yeah,
Let's see if I
Spike
can find
TV,
one.
right, guys?
Spectre after interviewing it, and I'll just see if I can find it.
Well, I think we might have run short on topics of
Let
discussion.
me guess. Female speed racer. That's my first guy. I don't know. That's the only thing.
That's the 2015 version. Speed Racer is now a woman.
I
Well,
remember
we
the
don't have
90s
to worry
version.
about making the right gender.
That's where I discovered Speed Racer.
Ghostbusters is getting a female remake, so why not Speed Racer?
I heard actually people complaining that it isn't really work for showing they're equal if it's all women.
No, they obviously have to have one guy on there, the token guy, to be the butt of jokes.
Well,
And
the guy is going to be the male role is going to be the secretary. What was her name?
I forget. But
Janine. There you go.
great.
So it'll be Jason instead.
they could have just kept on what was his name? Wilson, was it?
Oh,
The
Winston.
black guy.
Yeah, Winston.
Well, wait, but if they do that, then who's Rick Moranis gonna play?
Wait a second. I gotta go. Sorry, guys.
All right, take it easy.
Well,
I'll see you whenever I can.
Alrighty, take care.
good night. But yeah, Rick Moranis, what's his role gonna be? Come on, we gotta
He'll-
think of the smart
He'll
guy.
have to play the man-eating plant.
Feed me, Seymour. Feed me, Seymour. I'm gonna throw your white sis ass out.
Does Rick Moranis even act anymore? It's
honestly
probably
don't
been like
know, but-
30 years since he's been in a movie.
I legit don't know. I just remember him being in the Ghostbusters. Well, let's play some Twister. You want to?
Oh, yeah, okay. He has not appeared in a live-action film since 1997.
Wait, seriously? What was it? Honey, we shrunk ourselves?
Probably. Let's
That's
see.
the last thing I recall him being an offhand.
Yep, that's what it was.
Live action. Does that mean he's done voice acting since then?
Yeah, for animations and stuff. And
Yeah,
apparently he
maybe.
appears at conventions. I don't know why.
Well, because Rick Moranis, damn it. I thought he was cool.
No, I mean, I never had a problem.
Back when being smart was cool, we had Wayne Zelinsky. We couldn't spell it, but damn, we could at least say it.
That's right.
Yeah, no, I still know how to spell that last name. I don't even want to try. I've seen the mailbox even in the movies. I'm like, never. I'm not gonna try.
It's SZALINSKI.
All I remember is the SZ. It's into labs. The future. The future is labs. Crap. No, the future's not crap. Future is now. In that pose.
Zelensky, in my office now. I don't think that was actually a line, but I can just picture it for some reason.
So, what are we drawing now?
I haven't decided yet.
Well, obviously, it's another one of those damn white cis males.
Well, this is
blank white.
This is impression of a white male.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly.
Draw me like wave your
Just
French
blank.
girls.
He is empty.
Blank canvas.
Exactly. Oh, now it's gray. It's racist now. Okay.
Okay, this is an interesting Photoshop that I just came across. Hold on,
So thinking of all this racial nonsense, does that mean Mr. Potato Head is racist against blacks because he's brown? I just wanted these things. I don't know.
Alright, there we go.
Every time I see a link to that, I think PBS is in public broadcast.
That's what I thought.
No. First, that's really. Of course, of course. Tack on.
Well, it was like the first Power Rangers. The Asian girl was yellow. The black guy was black.
Black. That's true. I actually.
And the guy that looked somewhat Native American was red.
Guy
Oh,
just
man.
jumps in, I will grape you in the mouth. Did he say grape? For kids.
That's actually a good point. Did anybody ever make that argument about Power Rangers?
Hmm?
Oh, what's that?
Well, they switched it in the second season.
I wonder if
Oh,
it
wait, the
was.
whole thing about the Asian was the Yellow Ranger.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
The black guy was that. As a kid, I never even thought about that. I mean,
And then
you're
they,
really
they
gonna
made the
think
Yellow
about
Ranger
that,
a black
really.
woman, and they made the Black Ranger like an Asian type guy.
Oh yeah, Johnny Young Bosch,
in the second season.
which was the first time. Oh, it was the first time I ever ran into him. And good voice actor, I'm about to say, good voice actor.
Did you know the guy that does Luke Skywalker? He's the voice actor for the Joker.
Oh yeah,
animated
when I
series
first
and
when I
in the
first learned about
games.
that years ago, my mind just cracked because
He's also the
Skywalker
voice
and
actor.
Joker.
He's also the voice actor in the games too.
Oh, really?
I believe so.
Huh.
I never actually looked it up. It was like one of those. Oh, look at this cool fact. I probably should have, but
Quite a range this actor has to go from Luke Skywalker to fucking Joker, because that's just not even
Well,
close.
I don't think he's had any other roles except for that in voice acting.
I guess that's what happens when you play such a iconic role.
Well, at least he still turned out better than the poor guy who played Kyle Reese. He did great in The Terminator. Nobody ever heard of him since then.
Well,
Poor bastard.
nobody in Star Trek had a career after that except for
Arnold?
no, in Star
Looks
Wars.
legit.
Oh, Star Wars.
Except for Harrison Ford, no one else has really done a movie. Well, Harrison Ford and Darth Vader.
Oh, James Earl Jones.
James Earl Jones, but
Yeah,
then he
James Earl Jones.
so maybe that's why he was immune. Although at least, what's her name? One who played Princess Leia, she had some degree of a career at least, but which extended all the way to in Hook. There was a scene you can't tell because it's zoomed out too much. There's a scene where she and George Lucas are making out. I can't look at Hook the same way again. I'm sorry. I'm thinking of Princess Leia and George Lucas making out. Yikes.
God.
That's just... Thanks for ruining Star Wars a second time for me, George Lucas.
As if Jar Jar wasn't enough.
And yet Jar Jar to me is not the worst of it. Sometimes he can be okay. And then they made him a senator. Why would you make him a senator? I swear there are only two good roles in the prequel trilogy. Emperor Palpatine and Samuel Jackson as Mace Windu.
I actually
like that, but that's about
think-
it.
They should have made him swear, though. No, but...
None of these motherfucking Sith in my motherfucking Jedi temple.
Exactly.
That at least then we
I'm
can
gonna
salvage.
break a lightsaber off in your ass.
Fuck you, Emperor. But you know, I think what's crazy to me is I did see deleted scenes from the prequel trilogy because I was morbidly curious, and that was a bad idea as it turned out. But one of the deleted scenes for the third one, what was it, Revenge of the Sith, I believe, was just for no reason, out of nowhere, suddenly Anakin starts speaking in R2-D2 and the droid language, and I'm like, when the hell did the Force give him that ability? What is this, suddenly Harry Potter and this is the equivalent of parcel tongue? You can just talk to R2-D2?
Learn language instantly.
Just making those bleeps and bloops without a machine or anything, just comes straight up his mouth. I'm like,
Hey,
fuck you, George Lucas.
that's on his character sheet, okay?
This is not the Anakin. This is not the Darth Vader I knew. Fucking no, or do not want if you're the.
To be honest, I actually only saw the first one of the newer movie, the prequels.
Well,
I didn't bother to go the rest of the way.
You were spared. Let's just be honest. You were spared. The only reason
I think the first one was the worst.
Oh, really?
And yet, for me, the first one was somewhat okay at points, and the other two, I just wanted to die. But that's just me.
I'm actually curious what the new one is going to be like.
I have reserved hope, you might say. It's like, maybe they can salvage it. I'm not going to give my hopes up, but maybe they can salvage it.
Well,
I mean,
they're
bringing
bringing
the
back
original actors
original
back.
cast.
Yeah, exactly. So, great. This is what we needed, a female Jar Jar Binks. Thanks. Thinking of Jar Jar Binks breeding. Yikes. See, this definitely has to go to DeviantArt.
Oh my god.
Best caricature. Bet.
That needs to go on a t-shirt.
Seriously. I'd buy that shit.
Hey, how'd you find out what I look like?
You got doxxed.
Support my Patreon. I'll make more shirts like this. Ouch.
Nice.
This is Jar Jar Binks, sir. These are in politics.
Scum?
Misa hate the sea scum. Misa put them in the Sarlacc pit.
Nice.
God, I don't even know. I'm sorry. Doesn't remind me of an old Game Facts poll, though. How do you think Jar Jar Binks should die? And one of them was Sarlacc pit. So he had his moments, but most of them were still terrible. So how unfortunate. The only reason I even have the prequel trilogy on Blu-ray is because it was a set of the entire series, and I just wanted the original trilogy, so it was just sort of a package deal. Then at least I can pop in the prequel trilogy once in a while to remind myself why I hate them. Much like occasionally pop.
Maybe this should be the thumbnail.
Me so pressed. I didn't even catch that.
If you save it and send it to me, I will be sure to do that.
Send copies to all of us.
Yeah.
God damn. I can at least now just pop them in occasionally of why I don't like them. Much like the second and third Matrix movie, I can pop them in. I have them on DVD. Pop in occasionally, remind myself why I don't like them as much.
I can't bring I've never actually seen any of the Matrix movies like all the way through. I've seen bits and pieces, and now ever since coming across the MGTOW and their whole red pill, blue pill terminology, I never will. I just can't.
Thanks, Big Tow Extremist.
Thanks,
jerk.
guys.
Great. Now we need a Morpheus as done in the Jar Jar Binks race. A Morpheus Binks. You should take a red pill, or you should take a blue pill. You should stuck in Matrix forever.
Jar Jar goes his own way.
Misa don't like that Agent Smith. Misa bash brain in. I'm sorry, I'm fucking Jar Jar. I still think though that poor Yoda guy may have gotten it worse than Jar Jar. I mean, he was still, at least he sounded intelligent and philosophical in the original trilogy. The prequel, they played up his speech pattern way too much. Personal opinion, but yeah.
Well, you know, in Star Wars, they actually have like E.T. is actually canon in Star Wars. Did you ever hear that?
Hey, what?
Wait,
Yeah,
I'm
the
confused.
E.T. the extraterrestrial.
Hold on. The E.T. race has their own name and like everything in the Star Wars mythos.
You're talking about E.T. the extraterrestrial, right? That
Yeah,
movie?
the race, yeah.
Are you kidding? Wow.
Like that. It's not called E.T. I forget what it's called, but it actually has.
But
you
it's talking about
actually
that particular creature. Yeah, it's the race.
Okay.
Wow.
I'm
Yikes.
actually curious now. Wait,
I'm
this is
kind
a
of
thing.
worried.
Asogian? Asogian? Is that what it is? No.
I think that sounds right.
Yeah, that's it. That's it. That's hilarious.
Sojian, more like Miss Sojian, am I right? Wait. I'm never gonna go over that image. I'm sorry. I love this female Jar Jar Binks thing. This is a great image. I need to.
In Star Wars, you actually see the picture of them.
I'm tempted to make that my icon on YouTube because I haven't changed mine in a while.
I don't know. Moon Uncle Phil is pretty funny. Unfortunately, it's not present here in the stream. I was hoping we'd get to see that.
I don't like yeah, you know, massage my hand.
Oh man.
Yeah, I don't know why my YouTube icon didn't show up because it is considered all Google. So Google always fails. That's too bad.
I can go from this to that.
You can get with this, or you can get with that.
I get with both.
Or whatever is going on.
Whatever floats your boat, or whatever expression you like that's not cannot be taken out of context.
I actually had no idea that this was connected to Star Wars. That's pretty funny.
That's. Then again, I guess after Square tried to connect Final Fantasy 7 and 10, I guess anything could get connected at this rate.
What was that all about?
Apparently, somebody over at Square tried to say that 10 and 7 are in the same universe. That after 10-2, the kid Shinra worked with Rin, and started using the planet's energy just like the main energy in 7. And then they took a spaceship and flew to 7 and colonized it. And blah blah. Yeah. Connected by like a millennium or something, or at least definitely hundreds of years, but still.
So it's like another. It's the same universe but another planet.
Yeah.
That seems like a reach.
It is, and I'm just thinking, it might have been cool, but you really were reaching for this one.
I mean, because they didn't even. I mean, outside of Sid trying to take his rocket there, they didn't even really touch on space travel or anything. They didn't say
Yeah,
like, oh well,
seriously,
there's this
it was-
ancient society that had astronauts and they came to the planet and populated it or whatever.
It's like seriously, the technology just completely lost, and you're slowly rebuilding it or something. What the hell? And make a connection if you want to, but don't make it so specious. I guess would be the word. Put it actually, in the game, in canon. Oh God, the HD thing they're gonna make of 7 on the PS4. I hope they don't try to squeeze it in there.
I'm actually
Like, sure,
curious
man.
of what that's going to be like.
I wanted to turn out okay, but I'm still concerned because Modern Square is after 13, they're iffy on the track record for me.
Yeah, well,
15 looks like it might be promising, but I still don't want to get my hopes up. Just yeah.
well, if I was more into online RPGs, 14 looks like it could be interesting. I like how they have like the Magitech armor as a mount and stuff. That's pretty cool.
I mean, it's nothing against individual games, but the concept of MMOs has never appealed to me.
Yeah,
When I was growing up, you bought a video game, that's it. That's all the money they got. That's all the money you needed to pay. It was just a one-time thing. What's this monthly maintenance nonsense?
Well, there
Yeah.
was EverQuest for a while.
I'm sorry, it just sounded appealing to me. They got my money already. That's enough. I'm sorry. I don't mean to be bad.
the world
I
of
remember
DLC.
Yeah, I remember when DLCs first came out. I loved them. I was like, man, for like $20, I can add on more content to the game. Then they started adding like stupid stuff for DLC, like trial
Like Mortal
packs. I was like,
Mortal Kombat button combinations.
Wait,
my
before
God.
DLC though, we had expansion packs. Anybody remember
That's
those?
true.
there was a Sonic and Knuckles. Oh yeah, I remember expansion packs.
That was a cool concept. Unfortunately, DLC kind of has its ups and downs these days. I mean, I will say Hyrule Warriors, I believe, has done the DLC concept right, but there are other games that really just ain't doing it.
Well, I think for one, like, if you look at the Fallout games, there's only one DLC in all the Fallout games, or 3 in New Vegas that I didn't like, and it turned into a first-person shooter. It pretty much got rid of the Hold on, I'm playing a game. It got rid of the RPG aspect and made it pretty much into a shooter.
Hopefully you're not playing Mega Man X7.
No, I'm playing that game. But yeah, it just turned it into a shooter instead of like you pick up health packs. You didn't really need to like change weapons or anything. And there was like no abilities or anything with it. So it just turned the game into a shooter, made it kind of boring.
I'm about to have a allergy fit here.
That does.
I was concerned about that earlier. Considering my
I think
hasn't
only-
kicked in yet, so.
I think the only thing about that one that made me mad was that I think it gave you a level boost, so you almost needed it. Not needed it, but yeah, it boosted. Like, I don't know. I could be talking my ass right now.
Hey, is that the triggered lady?
Maybe.
That maybe has me worried.
Triggered lady.
Yeah, she's the feminist with the reddish hair.
Oh, Big Red.
Yeah, well, I didn't know she had a name, but I guess that would be it.
Damn, the feed died on mine. Is that
shit.
just me?
Ah, man.
Yeah, here too. Okay.
Ah, fuck
Oppression
this.
can't suffice.
Ah, man. I put down the weapon and pick up a armor plate, and I got blown away.
That's an amazing image right there. Oppression intensifies. Just oppression intensifies. Ranks are up there with shit posting loudly and things like that. Shit posting loudly is a gif of James of Team Rocket just mash all over a keyboard. If I had any links instead of downloading all my images, I would have a couple of.
Kind of feels special having my picture at the center of everything, apparently.
Yeah, because after the feedback, now it's just all you. You are the focus of it.
Sorry about that. I can.
You.
There we go.
Okay. I was about to say how you all being misogynist pigs, but. Okay.
Well, it's the glasses. Everybody loves glasses, right? I'm so sorry. Oh no, I'm flirting. That's it. I'm out of here.
Oh no.
I have triggered her now. It's over.
Oh no, you trigger warning. Trigger warning.
Trigger happy.
Now I'm gonna have to tag the video and
Trigger warning. I'll make you feel
triggers
dirty.
are my trigger warning.
Anti-drug. That's my anti-drug. Wait. Consider her Jimmy's rustled. I still can't believe that's a thing.
Oh,
Jim Russell Jimmy's. What the hell? I don't know where people come up with this shit. I swear I don't.
good question. I'm sure there's an origin story on the internet somewhere.
And a video, a long detailed history video of. Yeah.
The history of wrestling the Jimmies. Wait.
Okay. And a Google search. I murdered someone because of Monopoly. What the hell?
They told me the money was real.
Goodness. Police report man arrested for everything. Unlawful possession of a vehicle, firearm by felon theft. What did this man do, officer? He just did everything.
He was born a man.
Yeah, exactly. That's the biggest crime in humanity right now, right?
At least in yeah. I haven't really kept up with any of the newer stuff, but
I
drew a picture a while back. I linked it.
Nice.
Ooh.
The adult version.
Yeah.
Oh, hey, thanks, Google. I didn't realize there was a chat window in all this. Now I can see all the things people have been talking about. I've been linking over here. Jesus.
Oh, you didn't realize?
It wasn't there. You have to click to make it visible. Why?
Yeah, you do.
What's the... I'm considering how many years I've used Skype and bitched about that, I shouldn't even be surprised, but...
They're not helpful.
I declare ARG and shenanigans and bullshit.
Shenanigans.
Everyone's favorite, right? Especially when YouTube was having that error like a couple years ago, I called shenanigans and people couldn't do something or another. And it's like real funny, YouTube. I start up there with the trained monkeys and GameFAQs having the error page, you are winner. Because everybody loves big rigs, right? Big rigs over the racing skateboard. Classy.
Oh, man.
Okay. Oh, it actually got really late. For me, anyway.
Yeah, can you believe it?
I don't know.
This is why I'm a bad influence. I show up late to keep everybody late. You have important things to do tomorrow. Things. It's things, you know.
White people things.
White people, cis white people, racist things. Or,
white male things.
I get to go to work tomorrow and get paid 70-something cents
less than you guys, right?
77 cents less.
Even though you have seniority, right?
Yeah.
You have like 20 years seniority, you're getting paid less. Your performance is adequate, however our firm prides itself on excellence, and I believe there is room for improvement. A stupid Flash game.
Oh, did you guys hear about they actually made an app, and I think somebody, I don't know if it was one of you guys or some other guys that I was listening to streaming once, predicted it. It's the app where you actually get video consent to have sex.
Oh, I've heard of that.
What?
Yeah.
Okay.
Way to
Okay, sure. Okay.
destroy the romance.
Yeah, I know.
Oh man. Well, romance is oppressive because it implies that all women like candies and flowers and all that stuff.
Okay, seriously, you know what? I mean, I don't have image links anymore, but now I can put on my Dropbox. I have a response image to that because what the hell? That's right. You've triggered me now.
I was watching someone's video about it, and there was someone in the comments, and I'm not sure. I'm hoping they were just joking, but to be honest, I could believe it if they were being honest. They're like, well, that still doesn't help the women who'll change their mind during sex.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Can't.
No, see, I
How flaky are these people?
Yeah, no, see, I actually predicted that there would be an app where through each sexual whatever, you would have to get written consent on the app for each one. It's like, oh yeah, you want to suck my cock? Okay, you got to get consent for that. Okay, we're gonna do this now. Okay, we got to get the written consent. Got to make sure that you're okay with this. I can see it happening, unfortunately.
Wow, that's just terrible.
This is all I have to say in response to all that. This image. Just the whole thing. It's like, what? What?
This can't be real life anymore. It's just can't.
Is this the real life or is this just fantasy?
Oh, okay. Well, I'm probably gonna wrap up since we've been on for a while and it's getting to be about that.
Right then.
Hey, before we go, since I've been drawing this whole time, can I plug my DeviantArt?
Can you blog? Well,
sure, why not?
Okay. It's Garen. That's my account name. GARRENN. Come say hi to me and tell me how I'm a super awesome, not feminist person.
Actually, I will do one better, and I'm gonna take the you sent that link, and I'm gonna just link your account in the description box there.
Woo! Awesome.
Does anybody else want their channel linked or anything?
While I don't care either way, I would like to at least submit one last image for your perusal before we go.
Okay.
A last note of stupidity. If you could make a deconstruct stupidity around a newspaper headline, and that's it, not in the article, just the headline, this might be it.
Uh-oh.
Because this is just stupid. The person who said this is stupid. I'm sorry.
Oh my god. That's terrible.
I can't even say I wish it wasn't real because I'm pretty sure it was real because I really can't imagine some jackass saying that.
I wouldn't be surprised.
And that look
wow.
on his face, he looks like he's proud to have said it too. Yikes.
It just makes perfect sense.
Well, he looks like the type that would have to do that.
You jackass, go jack off. It's the only way you coming. Jeez. Oh god, now it's evolved into white guy gangsta. Stop me before I rap some more.
Does that count cultural appropriation?
It might, but then it might also be considered racism to assume that everybody speaks that way.
Well, it's also kind of racist to assume that all black guys have dreadlocks.
I thought that was more Jamaican thing, so maybe it's a nationalist than a race thing.
Like way before black people, there were like Celts that had dreadlocks.
They also had dresses. Oh, I'm sorry, they had kilts. Sicko.
Kilt.
Not a dress, it's a kilt. and their bagpipes.
Carried it correctly, otherwise it's a skirt.
See, the Celts were progressive for anybody else. They allowed cross-dressing because they had dresses, right? Now that's progressive. Flow approved. Just flow approved.
Yeah, you better stop making those jokes, or else you'll be accused of being conservative.
Go with the flow, right?
The worst possible insult ever.
It's the worst possible thing. I need my drama couch now.
Oh god.
What, you didn't think I was gonna lay in the grass, did you?
Is it drama couch? Is that like a fainting couch?
Well, it has been fainted on before. That's
I thought maybe it was one of those ones you find in the therapist's office or something.
Ouch. Well, some people. Okay, now. Oh, don't need to get serious. That's the problem with the internet. They sometimes get too serious. Too serious for me, right? Or is it 3 serious 5 me now or whatever?
I'm not proficient enough in internet language to know.
I can't keep up with your damn leet speak, much less any of this other nonsense.
I'm confused enough by Tumblr terminology, so.
Can you speak English like a normal person? Oh wait, this is Tumblr, not a chance. What we mean is we have everything well in hand, Miss O'Neill.
What do you mean speak English like a normal person? Are you implying that English is the default?
People on Tumblr do not have to speak English because they'll just make up their own words.
Or just redefine words that they use wrong anyways.
Yeah, seriously.
Yet point to the dictionary
People
definition when it's
refer
convenient.
to me as Z and Czar. Those are my pronouns. Those are my preferred pronouns.
Are you Russian royalty? You're Anastasia. Well, we finally found her. Congratulations! Congratulations! You had a Fox cartoon after you. It was okay. It wasn't the worst thing.
Don Bluth is the shit.
I liked Anastasia myself, but you know. I mean, Christopher Lloyd was the villain. How do you go wrong there?
Yeah.
Just saying. He made it pretty awesome.
No, I'm a huge Don Bluth fan.
Some of it was depressing, but it was just so good, so I don't even...
Okay, so on that note...
Okay. Yeah, I'm bad about Dragon Tales. You gotta be careful next time you invite me in one of these.
No, I don't mind.
It never stops. The Noo's never gonna go back to sleep now. This Noo could be sleeping me on the flow of time, but some random king won't shut up.
He keeps poking me.
But you're just so pokeable. You're like the Pillsbury Doughboy. Expecting you to wake up and say woohoo, Noo.
He wants to poke you.
If I could switch the avatar to the surprised New look right now, that would just be
like,
perfect.
You have permission to use the picture that I drew as your avatar.
Oh, goodness.
All right.
Now we use an
So
alternative.
you can use it as the icon.
Now he needs an alternative Noo where he catches them N's instead of Z's. Trail was a thing, so.
Well, I could just turn the Z's sideways.
Yes, but you're not a professional deviant artist. We gotta farm that work out.
That's true.
This is why you have a deviant artist in this call, so you can just commission her to do it. Oh god,
Here's
a man is paying.
$500.
Oh, a man is paying a woman to do something. Sexism.
I don't think there's any way to win on that one.
Nope.
If you pay, sexism. You don't pay, sexism.
Yeah, pretty much. I was like, well, what am I supposed to do?
I paid him 28% more.
Should have been 30%. Not good enough.
Alrighty.
Well, it was fun while it lasted. That's
Yes, it was a
great laugh.
good time. Lots of interesting topics.
And I learned something. Google Hangout has a text chat.
That's important for next time.
It has a text, but you cannot push enter unless you're finished with it. You can't hold shift and push enter to put in a link in the same message. Nope.
Hold on.
Alright.
Before you go, just a second.
Sure.
There you go. In the chat, there's the picture of the Tumblr Jar Jar.
Oh, nice.
Oh yeah. I'm sharing this with all my friends.
You have permission.
This is going in my next YouTube video. Maybe I'll do it. I have put random images of my YouTube videos. I will find an excuse. You don't even know.
Go for it.
I might. You never. Oh, what are you doing? No. Save it. Save the image. You silly thing. There we go. I was gonna say. I'm like, why is it trying to save the web page? No. The image. The image. That's it. Firefox and the patriarch here after me because I'm a gender traitor.
All right. Thanks for coming, guys. We'll do it again sometime soon.
Absolutely.
That sounds great.
Thanks for inviting us.
Anytime.
Although the gender
All right,
ratio needs
take
to be
care.
worked on
Good night.
next time because we're. I'm sorry.
Well, excuse me.
Excuse me, princess.
I sent out invites. Nobody showed up.
There.
All right.
Good,
Take care.
Good night. Take care.
Good night.